haven't seen.
Your mother.
Your mother?
I liked that one.
And
I think that's his. Right?
Yeah. Well, you like the host, right? That's your jam. No,
Host with
I
most,
really
babe.
enjoyed the host.
because that's his. That's another one of his that I.
That's a monster movie. You're not into those.
Yeah, I think I watched
also
that
just like
back
it
in
was
the day
like-
with you.
It was like a campy, like, it's like a dark comedy kind of thing. From what I remember, it's been a while.
It's been a while. All right. 3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast. Episode 937. The Ceruledge, the Carriledge, the Ceruledge Podcast.
Watch your
When
mouth.
we get older, our bodies turn against us, and we end up with a lot more cellulose.
It's hard to get rid of. The fiery blades of Ceruledge's arms burn fiercely with the lingering resentment of a sword wielder who fell before accomplishing their goal. Wow.
Is this Pokemon
Wow.
description?
Yes.
Are you reading it? Or
Yes.
You're not going to give it to one of us?
Nah, I'm not gonna bother you. Height 5 foot, weight
late.
136 pounds. It is male or female. Category fire blade. Ability fire ability is flash fire. If hit by a fire type move, the Pokemon absorbs the flames and uses them to power up its own fire type moves.
Flash fire!
End
Flash fire!
of Pokemon section.
Yeah!
We must have talked about this before. Did any of you play
Crossfire?
Crossfire in real life?
I have.
Oh yeah.
Was it fun?
You've probably played it at my house.
I remember
You son of a
barely,
bitch. Can I say that
but
on-
I don't
on-
remember like actually playing. I remember like, yeah, okay, and
That's
then
what
you're
it
done.
is.
There, yeah, I know. Like, I've never seen anybody be like, "All right, the game's starting. How many points do you have?" Here's
We've
the-"
never gotten into an arena where people are watching and there's lights and people screaming,
Yes.
yeah!
And you like fly down on one of those
You ride-
Star Wars Senate
Yeah.
discs that just like floats in the air.
We've never actually gotten down on the board and ridden on the things and spinning. No, but I have played the BB shooting game. Yes,
Okay.
And scale of 1 to 10.
I
it's
guess we'll ask
intense.
about that then.
Okay, excellent.
you know what it makes me think of now? Like I guess it's an old version. Like
Scale of 1 to 10. It's intense.
10
in
in
old-
tens.
It's intense.
no, I mean scale of 1 to 10. Seriously,
We're only ever serious on the
There's
show.
a-
Now give me your Crossfire score.
I got a kid score and I got an adult score.
I mean 7.
Okay,
7.5.
respectable.
Like as a kid, it was like a 9. Like it was awesome. I thought it was so cool. I played it over a friend's house, and I just liked. I mean, I wanted a BB gun so bad, and this isn't a BB gun, but there's
Right.
something about the
Yes.
mechanism. There was a
Little
tactileness.
dude running around
the-
in the yard holding
Yeah,
it,
holding up the whole board.
But and so I loved it. But looking back, I know now that it was not nearly as exciting. It wasn't as fast paced as it
Yeah.
felt as a kid. It's very slow paced compared to the commercial and compared to, I guess, what you're thinking. Yeah, it's not because of the board and like just the pieces, the two pieces that you're trying to get into the goal.
Yeah, the little
They,
tiny
you know,
things.
I remember like they don't move all that quickly across it,
It's
which
not-
I guess is
it's
part
not
of
like
it.
air hockey.
But
There's a lot of friction.
I remember it hurting my wrist trying to scoop the balls and like reload as fast
So
as
you're
possible.
saying the commercial is very misleading
What he's saying is his wrist issues began a long time
Actually,
ago.
that's
from scooping balls.
if
Yes.
only- yeah.
Yeah, but because like you'd hit it, and it was like 2 games in one because the pieces that you're hitting are ball bearings. They're like fidget spinners.
It's all ball bearings.
So like you'd hit it and they just spin in place. So it's not like
Yeah.
knock hockey where you're like ping pong, ping, ping. It's just like sitting there. Like,
And the star one was easier to get to move than the triangle.
triangle
The
one, yeah.
triangle was a real jerk.
I kind of
you
want to
have
play
hit
it now.
You have to hit it at a right angle. I'll ask my mom if we still have it.
Ooh, I would want to play. There's a Patreon video. Us
But,
playing Crossfire.
Oh,
You
that
know-
takes me back to working on Toy Hunter when I did, because that was just adults on the floor playing with toys while like we have a camera set up shooting it, and those are some fun times.
Speaking of arena-based fighters, I am really feeling the itch to play Beyblade right now. I've been getting a lot of Beyblade TikToks.
Beyblade Pig in the
I've
City,
always
or-
wanted to play Beyblade, and I've seen tournaments now, and it's just it looks like a lot of fun.
Beyblade kind of sounds suggestive if you just if you're a pervert.
I'm gonna need more because I don't think anything perverse.
No, it's like
Babe Blade.
Oh, Babe Laid.
Oh.
Wow. I wasn't thinking that at all. Let it rip.
Okay. What?
That's the catchphrase of Beyblade. Let it rip.
Babe Blade, which is the talking pig goes into like a knife fight.
You do 3, 2, 1. Let it rip. That's how every Beyblade match starts. I am here. Nicky Hill is here.
Hi, I'm here.
Deux is here. Josh Grobot is here. How are you doing, Josh?
That was a really great story.
Thank you. The Beyblade story. And George is here, of course. George, how are you?
Bon George, no.
Good to see you as always, George. Have a good week.
Liming it up.
Happy to hear it. Let me say hello to the Discord, whoever's in there.
Whatever.
Sure, whatever. Hello, Drake. Thank you for the Beyblade gift. Roth and Highland Tom. Drake, I did not see that there's a Marvel Star Wars Beyblade. I need it. Hello, Vachi. Hello, Radical Defect and Giant Reggie. Red Souza. Nico Darunia. E17 Pet. Whoever else I haven't seen in here. For those of you who are deciding not to watch the 2024 Pokemon World Championships and instead are watching us, thank you very much. I appreciate it. But I would imagine that's where most people are going to be spending their time watching Pokemon Go and Pokemon Unite and Pokemon Scarlet and Violet and Pokemon the trading card game getting battled out Crossfire or Beyblade style on the grand stage in Hawaii this year. So that is yesterday, today, and tomorrow.
And some people were
And that's tomorrow.
And that's tomorrow.
probably watching the World Championships and then came here because they were fed up with this world.
You want to hear something interesting?
No.
Watching like championships and all that stuff. The number one game on a Switch eShop for the last 2 weeks has been Nintendo Switch Sports. There's not a big discount. It's the Olympics.
What?
It has to be the Olympics was spurring people on.
I thought it was
to watch.
1-2 Switch.
No, that was in Australia.
Oh.
And we're talking about the Switch eShop that was retail
And
in
I
Australia.
don't think I was here for that 1-2 Switch.
Everybody 1-2 Switch.
Is that the first one or the second
No,
one?
Everybody 1-2 Switch is the sequel.
Okay.
1-2 Switch
makes
is
a little
the
bit more
launch.
The first one was just one guy 1-2 Switch.
solo.
Only me 1-2 Switch.
It was just one switch.
That's funny.
Me 1-2 Switch.
One of the other podcasts I listen to is doing a charity stream for Trans Lifeline too, says Radical Defect. Well, there's a shout out for them, whatever they are. We should do it, man. Been a long time since we did a charity stream, but I'm sure we could do a better one now than we did all those years ago. But
We got a new bongo.
that's yeah, we could do it for Obongo. Been back to Switch Sports due to basketball, actually, says Roth. I mean, Nintendo Switch Sports has badminton, which is in the Olympics. It has basketball, which is in the Olympics.
Does it have breaking?
No.
Is it called breaking?
So I wanted to talk. I had no intention
Oh my
of talking
gosh!
about
What
that
about
on the podcast.
what about Olympic busking? How awesome would that be?
For money?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
Mm.
Well, there was that
Hidden
one
cameras,
guy.
I think.
Yeah, it's got to be hidden camera or something.
The one guy in San. No, like you
What do you
go.
mean, no. How would it be fair if it's not hidden camera?
What do you mean?
Because it's
Why?
whoever
What do you mean?
busks
What do
the
you
most
mean?
money,
Yes,
right? At
exactly.
the end gets the gold. Correct?
Thank you. Yes, we're on the same page here.
Oh, I guess I'm just thinking like
no. Not I guess. Now I need you to explain what the hell you're talking about.
Well, gymnastics, they all have different floor routines, right? So buskers have different routines that they do.
So you're thinking of it like a talent show. And we're thinking of it from the job.
Yeah, we've got that already. It's
Round.
like it's
Yeah.
America's Got Talent.
Yeah, exactly. Buskers got talent.
Well,
They just get up
we
there.
need-
This is
yeah,
this
no,
is
we
going to
need-
sound
we
mean,
need
but
to
they get
have
up
a-
there and they
we
do the
need
same
to
stuff.
have
They're
a-
just dirtier.
we need to have a specific busking challenge. I think not just America's Got Talent. Like
The
let's go-
challenge is
let's work
getting
on this.
money. Yeah.
Let's work on this because this is exciting.
Well, I mean, we're on the same page. You're the one that's got to.
What was the guy in San Francisco who's wearing a tuxedo doing headstands on a Tide
The Metal Man?
detergent?
Oh, yeah,
Bottle.
yeah. I mean, if
mean, that's where
anybody
you find
deserves
real
being in the
talent.
Olympics for busking, it's that guy. And I would say the Metal Man and the Naked Cowboy has got to be out there. And trying to think of other famous buskers.
Tree
Does
guy?
the
The
does the
Bushman?
saxophone zoot guy count? He's too popular, right? He's making legit money. The
He could be the
Subway,
host.
you know, dance back and forth. He's
He
got
could
a
be
Fortnite dance.
Be the host.
He could be the host. You're right. There you go. Yeah, there's Metal Man. Thank you. Thank you, Drake. That's perfect. What the hell's going on? There's something I wanted to say. It's out the window.
It was Olympics.
Oh, yeah. I just thought that was interesting that Nintendo Switch Sports ran right up to number 1 2 weeks in a row because of the Olympics.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Isn't. Like what?
Yeah.
What?
I was gonna make that same exact fact.
But you did.
I was going to make that fact.
I thought we were gonna hold in the top there. Okay.
Well, I want to look something up because yes, you're right. From what we heard from someone who worked on that franchise, they said that series is done.
What are you looking up? Nintendo Switch Sports Rule 34.
Somebody who worked on Nintendo Switch Sports came out and said that the game was dumb.
Done. The franchise is done.
Oh,
I wanted to double check this.
I'll believe it when I see
Really?
it.
No more.
I don't believe that for a
sports?
second. One
All right.
day they're gonna come out.
Well,
with
then
something.
why skip this year?
What are you talking about?
What? There's only been how many of these?
Oh, sorry, Mario and Sonic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought we were talking about a different franchise.
No, I mean
Forgive me.
Sonic's in the movie business now. You know, he doesn't have time for training.
The last Mario and Sonic Olympics game was
Oh,
2019.
Hold on, Mario's in the movie business now too. They don't. None
He
of
had
these,
quite a
they-
popular movie. It's
they-
true.
they're too busy.
I'm going to go on
my
the
game.
post about that. This
Hello,
is funny
Blood
because we're
Ocean.
starting off with all this like actual Nintendo
News?
talk. Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
I want to see where Mario and Sonic at the Olympics is on the charts if it made the charts.
No one cares about me.
Mario and the Sonic. Oh, why am I saying that? Mario and the Sonic. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 did make the top 30 this week. So sizable bump. It made it up to number 15. So
They
it's
had to
there.
push it out
What
to
about-
30 just to get it on the list.
What about Larry versus Bird?
Not there. Larry versus Bird is on the same list as Mario and the Sonic.
Mario versus Brothers.
Sonic versus the Hedgehog. This is good stuff. I was gonna curse there. Okay. Well, I didn't have any topics to talk about beforehand. Before I got to Patreon stuff. Did I? There was something like I do about something, but it's gone. Maybe it'll come to me. All right. Let me tell you about Patreon then. What did we talk about on Patreon? Oh, dude, do you know
Come on, man.
that you can join the GoNintendo Patreon
For $1.
for $1? Yes, just $1.
Guess you did know, huh?
What did I talk about this week? I talked about before it launched the upcoming
Where?
patreon.com/GoNintendo. I talked about before it launched the Fortnite Marvel season, which is now live as of yesterday. Dew and I will be talking about that later, but I talked about Gwenpool being one of the characters who made an appearance, and I had fingers and toes crossed that that would be the case. And not only does she make an appearance, she was in the trailer, and she's the first skin you unlock in this battle pass right away. You just get her by buying the battle pass. So, and I've seen lots of Gwenpool love as of yesterday. I was playing a game with my mom and my cousin, and the lobby, you know, you load into the lobby first. There was a lobby where, no joke, there were 8 Gwenpools in a circle, all doing the gritty with each other. I was
That's
like, this
awesome.
is amazing. So yeah, we'll talk about the season later. Our Nintendo World Championships NES Edition challenge continues. We are in our 4th week of challenges. It's been a whole month already. We're on the Over and Out challenge, which is Super Mario Brothers 2. It's the level that is all ice, and you have to run across the ice and get to the little rocket ship that blasts you off. And people, I think, have pushed this one to its limit. I don't know what the world record is, but it seems like everybody on Patreon who's playing it has gotten to the exact same time. What is that time? I don't remember off the top of my head. I usually write it down. I didn't this time. I want to say it's 1834, maybe 1836, something like that. But that's where it's been the last couple of days. So it seems like our Patreon people have reached their limit. I don't know if that's the world limit, but for our Patreon, they've like really done a great job shaving down that time to that exact millisecond. So Over and Out, you got another day to try and get that time lower. Like I
Man.
said, I think it's 1834. It could be lower than that, but man, what?
And that has the those ice skating little white dudes in
That's
the in the
exactly
beginning.
the portion of the
I
level.
remember just like exactly how that
Yeah.
layout is, and the
Yep.
ducking that
I said
needs
that
to
on
happen
Patreon.
on the ice.
There's something about that level when I was a kid. I loved that level. You do all that jumping and running and dodging on the ice, and then you take the rocket up, and then there's more ice, and it's the the Shy Guys riding the cameras or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's right. That's such
It's a great level. It's a quick level, but it's a great level.
Yeah, that's
Lots
a great
of fun.
one.
So that's the one we're doing. So if you want to, got to join Patreon to try it, go ahead and just try it on your own. But if you want to post up your score in the comments, then you have to be part of Patreon. I talked about I talked about Rick and Morty.
I wanted to ask about
anime.
that.
Did you watch the first episode?
Yes. Do I remember it? No.
Okay. Did you?
I didn't know this
It
was
just came out this week. Just
Is
the
it
first episode.
Is it a full series?
10 episodes.
And
yeah.
is this? Maybe you're gonna get to this. Is this like? Rick and Morty had like a crazy deal of like 50 seasons, like some crazy number of episodes that they were.
Rick and Morty 1,000,000 times.
Yeah, but no, like they made a crazy deal a couple of years ago.
This was not part of the deal.
This is not part of the deal. Is this a way around with the creator, or is this just an artistic
because anime
direction?
came out before. They've been doing Rick and Morty anime shorts for a few years now. This is the first full series that they've ordered.
Oh, okay.
So there's been like 4 anime shorts. There was one anime short that got a lot of attention, and they did a series of 4 more shorts, and then they were like, okay, let's do a whole series. So I wrote about Rick and Morty, the anime, before I came out because I was talking about my complicated feelings with Rick and Morty. Because, as you know, we're not going to get into details, but Justin Roiland is not a good person, and he is no longer involved with the show. But when he was with the show and all that stuff broke out, or all that news broke, it kind of soured me on the show. I know a lot of other people worked on it and everything, and my understanding is outside of voices, he didn't really offer too much. But anyway, he was pretty much one half of the faces of the show. And he played the 2 main characters. And, I was just like, and I wasn't like done with this. I was done with the series until they announced he wasn't going to be a part of it anymore. And then I was just like, I need a little bit of space. I need a little bit of space from the show. And also, the fandom for Rick and Morty for a very long time has been horrendous. They really showed stripes when it came to the Szechuan sauce debacle, and then after that it was just a nightmare. And I'm like, I can watch a show and separate myself from the fan base because they don't have anything to do with the creation of the show mostly. But I was like, oh god, why do all these
Well, wait.
what I would say is horrendous.
What's with the Szechuan sauce? Just that it was like a huge thing.
Yeah, but I don't have a problem with it being popular, but people were like harassing McDonald's employees over it and like causing ruckuses in the locations and getting in physical fights with the employees over it. And I'm like, Jesus Christ.
They're American.
Grandma. And then I was like, I just, the more I, they're very, here's the problem.
it's just-
a lot of them watch Rick and Morty and they're like, wow, Rick is the coolest guy ever, and he's awesome, and I love the way
don't see
he does
that he's a
everything.
jerk,
It's
yeah.
like the people who watch The Boys and are like, Homelander is the coolest, best character I've
They're
ever
very
seen.
flawed characters, and they're not seeing that. They're
Yeah.
seeing it like it's some sort of great thing to be put up on a pedestal. Or
Did
something.
we talk
Yeah.
about this? I don't even know.
You hear about
Shameless?
this? Talk about this?
The series Shameless.
I thought you said
It's
Seamus.
All of the characters are like,
Horrible people.
horrible people, like horrible people, and there are some people that just love the show, and I like take a step back, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh, I understand why you like the show.
that's
Yeah.
how
It just justifies your
it is with
behavior.
Succession. That's especially how it is with The Sopranos, with Scarface, with Goodfellas.
Yeah.
I love all those things, but I don't worship the characters. The characters are flawed. They've got real problems, but a lot of people, especially with like Tony Soprano, people just worship him. He's one of the like darkest people in the world. He's nobody to worship. Fascinating character, great show, amazing portrayal of him, But holy cow, the people online, and I see them all the time because I'm on like Sopranos TikTok and stuff. They just worship him, and it's scary.
Yeah, you said it perfectly. Like you watch the show, and he is a fascinating character, just like Rick is a fascinating character, just like Homelander is a fascinating character. And what they do, and how they do it, and how things play out, makes for very interesting stories. But you're not watching it idolizing that character. You're watching it being like, this makes for a very interesting story. But yes, you're right. Like people watch Success. Like I couldn't stomach Succession because I just couldn't get past how bad everybody was. And that's a me thing. But I understood that the show's writing was phenomenal and the acting was amazing. And like the storylines were very interesting. I just couldn't get past that bad feeling. But there are plenty of people who watch Succession that are like, these are the greatest people ever. And like, I want to be just like them. And I'm like, oh man, that's so gross. So with Rick and Morty, again, that doesn't take me, the fans don't take me out of the show, but the fans do, especially in that case. I was like, oh God, I don't like being associated with this, because it's hard when you're outside of your friend group to be like, I watch Rick and Morty, because people are going to be like, oh, he's one of those people. And you have to be like, no, I'm not. I swear I'm not like that.
That's everything.
That's everything for some people, sure. But then there are certain things that are much bigger, reach out much further, where they're automatically associated with basket case fans like Rick and Morty, or The Boys now, which only just came to fruition recently because of,
Which is crazy.
Yeah, it took 5 seasons for a certain group of people to be like, oh, he's supposed to be bad, what's bad about him? So
I mean, you just have to see literally the first episode of the show, and you know
Tells
he's
it how
bad.
It is.
yeah. So anyway, I talked about my complicated feelings with the show. Hi, SD, good to see you. And I was like, I haven't watched the last, I don't know, season and a half or 2 seasons of regular Rick and Morty. But I was like, I'm an anime fan. I watched the anime shorts of Rick and Morty before, and I found them really interesting. I was like, maybe this is my time to like ease myself back into Rick and Morty. So I watched the first episode of the anime. I'm going to watch the whole series. I found it to be, so I watched the shorts, and I really like the shorts, and it has what I like about the shorts. I found it to be really interesting, and it is very, it's tough to parse, but it wants you to like explore it. And I need to see the other episodes of this season to know how episodic it's going to be versus how one-off it's going to be. But it was very, very interesting to me. It's certainly not going to be everybody's cup of tea, but I found it very interesting. It also has, for all the old anime fans out there, it has such a very old school feeling to it in terms of anime. Like there's something about the pacing and even the use of music and background noise or lack thereof that feels so like late 80s, early 90s anime to me. And it's a feeling I haven't felt from an anime in a very long time. There's just something about that style, something about the approach of it where I was like, wow, that feels like anime I used to watch when I was in high school. But again, it's very interesting. It's I would imagine all the episodes are going to be meant to like be explored and thought about and talked about with people. And I was like, you know, I could understand people really not being into this, and I can understand people being like, oh, this is something interesting, worth exploring. And I was like, I made the mistake. I was like, let me see what other people are saying. So I went to I just did Rick and Morty anime Reddit, and the subreddit came up, and I was like, oh yes, this is why I was pushed away from the show, because I was reading what everybody was saying, and I was like, oh, these people they're entitled to their opinions, but boy, the way they were voicing them and the things that they were saying, I was like, this is gross. Like these people, I don't want to lump everybody in together, but like I said, I read it and I was like, I don't want to be a part of this. So I was like, I need to find somewhere else to find discussion where it's actually discussion, not just like people being horrible. So wherever that is, I don't know. Maybe I'll hunt it out. Maybe I won't. But you watched the first episode.
What I can't even say I watched it. Like I think I fell asleep.
Dexter.
I think I fell
But I've
asleep.
seen everything.
I had like a 20-minute episode.
There was a couple of times. Well, I'm just remembering that I had to rewind it multiple times because I kept like missing something because I kept like just fading out or something. I'm
Were you watching with subtitles on or?
It's dubbed, but
It's
it's
dubbed.
not dubbed by. They have a completely different cast from the regular Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I would imagine maybe
No,
contractually
I just
speaking or money wise. I don't know what it is, but they got like the guy that's doing Rick kind of sounds like Rick. The guy that's doing Morty kind of sounds like Morty. Everybody else doesn't sound like their counterparts, but
Yeah.
it's fine.
I need to just rewatch it because I don't remember it. at all.
My major gripe is I was watching it and I was like, I'm not a prude, but I was like, there's a lot of cursing in this. And I was like, it seems like cursing just thrown into curse. I'm like, that's disappointing. I come to find out that the actual Japanese version
doesn't have
that stuff. It has cursing in it, but very, what I would say a normal cadence. Whereas the American version, I guess they were like, let's drop F-bombs here and there. I was like, and every time somebody said it, I was like, it's taking me out of it. But then I researched and I was like, maybe the next one I'll watch with subtitles then, because I found that disappointing. But storyline wise, I thought the storyline in this one was very, I keep saying interesting, but there's no other word for me to say it. It's just the way it's told, and it's told in a manner that's meant to throw you off. Like, where you're like, what's happening here? What's going on here?
So imagine me.
Falling
I
in and out of
dozed
sleep.
off and then I woke up and I was like, where the hell are we?
You know, it's funny. Your experience watching the show is almost like Morty's experience in that episode. You lived it.
And I don't even know what you're referencing.
Okay.
Because I can't think of
but I am very curious to see if we are being told a story that is a season's length story, or if it's just going to be one-offs. I would imagine they have to be tied to each other. But here's the thing. If you don't know if this is going to be for you, what I suggest doing is going to watch one of the free anime shorts on YouTube, because it very much feels like those. So if you watch that 10-minute short, or some of them are less than that, 5-minute short, and you're like, not for me, then I would suggest staying away from the anime. So, but I wrote more about that and my feelings about Rick and Morty in general. I'm going to skip that because I'll go to that later. I talked about Batman Cape Crusader. Dude, you finished it.
Yeah.
I finished it. Nicky Hill has not finished it. No
Nope.
spoilers, don't worry.
Nope, I did not finish.
Where you at?
I've seen 2 episodes.
Oh, same place. Okay.
I slept through 2 and then I went back and I watched the second one again.
How are you staying awake during Dexter?
It's more my pace, I guess.
I'm not
because he's
knocking
just like,
Dexter. I'm asking, like, what
so-
about Dexter where you're like, I'm going to watch this?
I honestly couldn't. tell
I'm
you.
going to look at rat now. All right. You
Um,
watch Dexter at a different time from when you watch other things.
No, I don't understand it. I don't understand it. It's like, oh, this is a 20-minute episode. Good night.
Hour long? Give it to
I
me.
will say the other day I had myself a zero sugar spiced Coke or whatever. Caffeine.
Spicy,
Yep.
beat the ball.
Perfect.
The second
Not
I had
used enough, by the way.
the second I had like 5 minutes after I finished that beverage, out like a
Out.
light. Something about, hey, our armchair doctors who listen to this show, tell me what's wrong with me, because
Pavlovian
caffeine-
response.
caffeine puts me to sleep.
And online doctors, if you're listening, also keep in mind that it's a very long living room and the TV's not that big,
Oh my
and
gosh!
it's
with
very,
this
very
guy.
far away from where you're viewing it from. You might not even know the TV's on, actually,
Maybe you should watch it on your phone. Then you got to hold your phone and then
Unbelievable.
or get one of those VR
Let's-
headset things for the
yes.
phone, and then you can
watch it
have-
on the Switch.
Let's shame the guy with the little TV.
It's no shame.
like
It's
to
all
tease.
fun.
I
My
like to
TV in my living
tease.
room sucks. I hate it so much. The color on it is horrendous. It makes
the
me
color.
angry.
I don't mean to be rude.
No,
but the
say
color
it.
upsets me.
I don't want to hear.
I'm not.
I don't take offense when I like buy something and somebody's like, this is bad, or obviously there's some couth to it, but we've been
You-
friends a bazillion years. Oh God, I'm sorry. We've been friends 30 something years. You can be like, something's wrong with your TV. I agree. That color on it is
I've commented
wrong.
on it at some point, and
makes me so
the
mad.
reaction I got was, I don't see a problem. So I don't know.
Well, your blue light smackdown is a separate thing. I get what you're saying.
No, it wasn't about that. No, I think a big part of your issue with the television in that room is all of your LED lights. They're not specific colors. So like you're getting a color off the TV, you're not getting the same color as if, and maybe I'm completely wrong. You watch it with all the lights off and it still bothers you, but Like, do you remember?
It bothers me no
Do you
matter
remember
what.
in the
yeah.
condo?
Yes.
We were all in the living room, and if you were looking into your kitchen, which was all fluorescent lights, you didn't really notice a problem. I remember getting up, going into the kitchen where the fluorescent lights, everything was lime green. You heard that right, George. Lime green
Whoa,
because
tell
of the
me more.
fluorescent lights, because the color temperatures were so crazy. It's that whole blue and gold, black and whatever dress.
That
thing.
just came up for me again yesterday.
And so I think that also messes with us, that like the fluorescent lights are at a different.
You are not wrong. I
color
will say
temperature,
you
it's
are
messing with
there, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing. You are much more sensitive to it than I think most people are, but you are not wrong by any means. But anyway, I don't remember how we got to that.
TVs,
That's
my
what I'm
TV.
really-
Oh, your
is
TV's
so
far away. My
away.
TV. This guy's living a dream. He's got a great TV. He's up on top of it. It's new. It's got great colors. He's great.
Some might say it's a little too big for the distance.
No, nope. Because mine downstairs when I play games, I'm right at the same distance. I'm in it.
Feels
Well,
good.
you
Locked
guys are-
in, as the kids
You
say
guys are
nowadays.
getting old.
Very
and it's
demure, very
showing.
mindful.
What's
There's
with
another one.
demure these
I knew it.
days?
It's
you-
the huge trend right now.
A huge
Very
trend.
demure, very mindful, very cutesy.
Huge trend. Can't get 3 steps down the sidewalk without hearing demure.
It's a
demure,
big trend
demure,
right now.
demure.
It's a big trend. Batman Cape Crusader. We won't
Oh,
spoil
why
it,
not?
as I said, but do greatly enjoyed it. I believe. Don't
Yeah,
wanna
I
speak
liked
for
it
you.
a lot.
I also liked it a lot. It took me a little bit of time to warm up to it. I was never against it. I was just like, I like it, but it's not great. But as it went on, I was like, oh, I really like this. I'm going to stay away from major spoilers or spoilers in general. But I will say, I do like that it's Batman in like his early days,
Yeah.
and you get a different side of Batman. Certainly, you get I don't want to say too much, but you see certain parts of Batman's personality that you are not used to seeing because you're usually seeing a more seasoned Batman.
Yeah.
So I do like that, where I was like, oh, that's not.
I could say that about
He's
episode
coming into
1.
his own.
I can say that without it being a huge spoiler, I think.
Sure, go ahead.
He's like, all right, this is a spoiler, I guess. There's an event and Bruce Wayne is there.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. He's cocky and he's just in a
Yes.
situation, like he says something about throwing money
Yes.
at a problem, and it's like, really, this guy?
Right off the, no pun intended, right off the bat, I was like, oh,
Oh.
he's a little more cocky than I'm used to.
So maybe that's why, though, if it's his early days, that's why he in his early days he wasn't doing leg day much, because his legs are, he's got chicken.
You and
legs,
this
that guy.
leg thing.
Well,
Well, he's
it's
part
just funny.
bird. He's part bat.
Uh,
His there's one storyline for one character in general that I would say is the focus of pretty much the whole season, more or less. The way they tell that character's story, I was like, that was an excellent story. Like,
Wait,
really seeing how that
is there
plays
an arc
out.
for over the whole season?
There is an overall arc. Yes, there are a couple episodes that are more one-offs than others, but they still have pieces of this character. And there, it's very clear one character in particular this season is meant to be the focus of the season, and it's not Batman. And I thought it was very well done.
Okay.
Where they do a good job of exploring the character. If you're a Batman person, you already know what's going to happen, but still seeing it play out and how they did it, I was like, oh man, that's tough. So,
Well,
in a good way.
that helps me to not feel so happy about the show if there is like an arc, because something takes place in episode.
Helps you to not feel so happy.
Yeah, but then it's gonna bug me. Basically, that's a better way to say things. Words.
It's going to bother you that there is a little arc.
Why?
I don't know if we talked about it, but I know we talked about it. And there's-
Batman the animated series had arcs too. It had a lot more one-offs, but there were arcs.
Yeah, but
definitely.
did something happen that was like a huge thing in one episode, and the very next episode they don't talk about it?
In the original show?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, all right.
Lots of times that happened. Yeah.
Okay.
I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
more character arcs than
Yes.
anything that happens
architectural?
to the city arcs.
you got to watch more episodes. We'll see how you feel. But
My
I
whole
said
thing. Did I say about that? Something I said the other night was about Uncanny Valley or something. But I
in
think
Batman.
well, it's not that it's Uncanny Valley. It's that it's very similar to the animated series, time wise and everything, but the animation isn't. The character models are different, and like cartoonier.
That's
like,
not Uncanny Valley though. Uncanny
no, I'm
Valley.
just trying to. This is what I'm feeling. Is what I've been going through. Because like the first episode, I was like, I don't know if I really like these like cartoony characters in this environment. Like they're going similar to animated series in this way, but then they're also doing their own thing, which is fine. There's variations and variations and variations on a lot of different things. I'm open to it, but it's just I'm like torn because it's very similar, but then it's not.
It
and I'm
is
just,
very
like,
similar and
trying
it is
to feel
very
that out.
different at points. Yes, the
I have to
character
watch more of it
designs.
so that I can experience it or accept it for its own thing rather than let's try to bring this back in our own way.
Well, it's very hard to say it's its own thing when it's very clearly inspired by that show and has half the people who worked on that show also working on it. So
Right.
it's I don't think you can really separate it. But yes, if you're very sensitive to that stuff, I watch a ton of animation, so I'm sensitive to that too. But it doesn't take me out of a show, but it is something I notice. Yes, like the designs, the character designs in this show are much closer to like what Warner Brothers was doing with the last couple seasons of the Superman animated series and like shows like Hysteria and Freakazoid. Like it's more that style character design. So it's not that it's not Warner Brothers and historical Warner Brothers. It's just not Batman the animated series style. I get what you're saying. Like
It's the
and-
same thing with Rick and Morty anime. It's so drastically different.
yes.
I can go into it and accept it for something that's
Yeah.
different. But this it's like kind of gonna be a little the same, but it's not.
And my problem is, and again, it doesn't take me out of anything, but I'm an anime and animation nerd in general. So
are they on the ones, the twos, the threes?
no, that's fine. As far as like that stuff goes, Batman's fine. But
What are they?
I
on,
am
though? 'Cause
very
I'm still trying to
annoyed.
understand.
That's got to be on. It's definitely on the twos at least. I don't think it's on the ones. That'd be too much.
There's
but
a lot of it that I see. I mean, I know there's a lot of animation where it's just like a still, and then they just have the mouth moving.
yeah,
like,
and
that's
mouths
the
are almost
entire
always
scene.
on the ones or the twos because it's a little line. But I watch stuff like Batman, Cape Crusader, and trying to think Invincible, and I'm like, it's not all American made animation. There's obviously other studios, and there was some stuff about Invincible with studios that worked on that, Koreans or whatever, but they're doing it to spec as far as what the Americans want. I get very annoyed watching American made animation because they take very little. I don't want to say they don't take pride, but it's very much part of the machine. And it's what's the matter?
Dre Gamer posted the thing about the dress and how the husband like assaulted
Yes.
his wife. I didn't know
We'll
that.
get into that in the after show.
That's not a news story on GoNintendo.
No, the like I look at shows like that again, Batman, Cape Crusader, and Invincible, and I'm like, this is like a factory made show. Like no one along the chain of command is like trying to take advantage of animation as a form to bring the show to life. It's just very much like, especially in Batman Cape Crusader, like people move very robotically and very like
That bugged me
they're
too.
not. They don't take advantage of animation as a format. It's just like we're getting this done and it is animated. And I don't want to say like I don't want to look at the animation model for anime and applaud it because those people work their hands to the bones and they are in horrible conditions and they do not get paid nearly enough. But with those animation houses, they very clearly have a sense of style and approach that they're proud of, and they want to make sure they put that in their series as like their stamp as like, here's how we do animation. So like I go from watching anime stuff where I'm like, even if you don't like the style of the animation is gorgeous, where they really do things that take advantage of the animated format, where you get shots that you would never get and ways of showing things that you would never get. And I really appreciate that because it's taking advantage of the medium. And then you look at Batman Cape Crusader and I'm like, it's just very like flat, just very by the numbers. It's like the Simpsons or a Family Guy approach to animation. And there's nothing wrong with that. That is a show that happens to be animated, whereas the other things are animated shows.
I actually just watched
it makes me sad.
the last episode of season 1 of The Simpsons last night.
Very different animation style.
And oh my gosh, it's not outlines around the characters, it's just the shadows
Yeah.
from shooting, like photographing the cells.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Very
Also, a TikTok came up again talking about the backgrounds in, like, I don't remember the studio, but the studio that did like Popeye and stuff like that,
different.
and how they made
Fleischer.
they made actual 3D models and would shoot
Yeah,
them,
they were.
and like
That's
oh
what I'm
my
talking
gosh,
about.
it's
That's what
amazing,
I'm
that
talking
stuff.
about. Yeah. And I get that takes time and money and effort. And there are plenty of animators out there who want to do that. But here in America, the studios are the ones that dictate everything. And they're like, as cheap as possible, as quick as possible. And that's that. So it's sad. It's very sad to me because we have other parts of the world, not just Japan. France does a lot of great animation as well, where they're like looking at animation as the art style and how that can influence what goes on in the show and make it and heighten it. But we don't have that here, and it's sad. I mean, somebody on it's funny, TikTok knows what I'm into because TikTok yesterday showed me the intro for the Beetlejuice animated series. And I remember as a kid being blown away by that intro because I was like, this is gorgeous. And I don't know what studio made it. I don't know if it's Japanese or American or British or French. I got no idea. But that's an example of a series where you were like, wow, look at that animation. They really did a lot with that animation. Look at Tiny Toons. Tiny Toons, when we were kids, there were some episodes that were not animated well, and there were others that were gorgeous and animated really nicely. And it all depended on what studio got it at the time and where the money was being allotted. So blah 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 blah.
That's kind of the case now with computer, like special effects and stuff.
Yeah, I don't know that there's any special effect companies that are putting their like stamp of animation style because they're all aiming for make it look real.
But just the whole point of like where the money goes, things look better and more polished. And like,
the best example we have of great
treating them.
animation stateside is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie and the Spider-Man movies. That's top of the top. Like those have so much charm
Well, what
and
about, too,
style and
Mitchell's versus the Machines,
same company as Spider-Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean, I know the Spider-Man stuff stylistically,
and the new TMNT cartoon retains the style of the 3D movie, but is 2D. And I haven't watched it yet, but it looks gorgeous. Like that's great. Even if I don't personally like the style, I appreciate them using animation to be part of the story. So, but storyline wise, Batman Cape Crusader, it was great. It was great. I give it a 8.5. I say X-Men 97 was better, but Batman, I'm like, give me season 2. I'm ready. This was a lot of fun. I really liked what it did, especially how things wrapped up in that season. I was like, okay, I want to see these characters explored more. So it was good. It was good. So I wrote more about that.
I'm glad you said that about the walking and like the motion,
It's
because
very stiff.
I was like watching Batman walk through like a space, and I was like, is this?
There was one scene I want to say. Well, I'm not going to say who it was with, but it was 2 characters, and it was very clear that they were moving characters with no intention of the rest of their body being there. Like they were animating it as if it was just a torso and a head. And the way they moved, you're like, what's going on with the bottom of their body right now? Did they not have legs? What's happening here? And then they did a wider shot and they had to animate it completely differently. But like, I was like, God, nobody's thinking of this stuff. I talked about Girls Band Cry, which is another very interesting animation. It's 3D CG anime, but that's not why I wrote about it. I wrote about it because anime. You watch on streaming services. Crunchyroll is the big one. There's High Dive, Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. They all have anime. Toei Animation is behind Girls Band Cry. I've been so excited for this show. And Toei's like, it's getting localized, people. And you can watch it by buying it per episode or per full season. And I'm like, they can do whatever they want. But when was the last time a brand new show came out that wasn't on a network or a streaming service and you had to buy it to watch it? Can you think of such an example? And I have such a mental block in my head where I'm like, I will buy a game flat out, and I don't know if the game's good. I'm expecting it to be good, and I have no problems with that. $60 for $70 for a game. with a TV show, like I could buy the season for, it depends on where I'm buying it. If I'm buying it through the Microsoft store, I can get it for $10. But what am I going to watch? I want to watch it on something other than my computer. I can buy it on Amazon Prime. It's $32 and it's only digital. And I'm like, I have trouble buying a TV show. And I haven't done it yet for this anime, even though I really want to see it. But I'm like, why do I have the trouble with the TV show where I don't with the game? Can anybody explain it? Like, you guys haven't bought TV shows you've never seen before. And you haven't bought like a movie. Maybe you have bought a movie that you haven't seen.
Once or twice I've done that.
But it's not often, yeah.
I bought a movie twice without realizing it.
No mom brain day today. I'm sorry, I just saw that now. She's seeing her parents.
But
all's well. Hi, Stilbert. Bye.
I've definitely bought movies that I haven't seen just because, it was released on Criterion or something. I'm like, well, enough people have merit to that or whatever.
Yeah. I don't know why I have the mental block. I guess hello, Colossus.
But I mean, buying, I can't think of any other example of a show that is being released, I guess, independently, where they're making you pay for it per episode.
I think that's where my problem comes up, because I'm so conditioned to, if I'm going to watch a show, it is on a streaming service or a traditional network.
You'll do that for a game, but you won't do it for
Well, that's what I'm talking about shows.
You won't do it for a 25-minute game experience or something.
Yeah.
You do it for a game that maybe it's going to last an hour or two, and like, that you're only going to spend what, $30 or $40 total. If this is one episode, is $10?
No. One episode. I can buy the whole series through Microsoft Store for $10, which really limits where I can watch it, because I would watch it on the treadmill. I can't do that. Or I could buy it on Amazon, which I can watch through Prime, but it's $32.
Yeah.
I'm like, but again, this is why I wrote about it, because I'm struggling. I'm like, I buy games all the time, $60, $70, $30, whatever. I don't know if it's going to be good. I'm interested, but I'm like, oh, I shouldn't get it with this anime. I'm like, but I think it's because it's a show, and I'm like, I get shows on regular TV or I get them on streaming services. I don't buy shows to own them unless they really mean something to me. So
it's just a weird
distribution model. Yes.
And
I'm not.
I don't know if it's like somebody's being like, stick it to the big companies, or maybe none of the big companies would take it, and they're like, well, we have to get it out there somehow, and we can't do it for free.
Well, I've been reading other anime fans talking about it, and they're saying Toei is just so out of touch with how anime distribution works here in the States that
is that how it works in other countries?
In Japan, they just watch it on TV. It's going to air on TV. We don't.
But do they distribute other things in Japan that way?
I don't know. I know, obviously, physical sales.
If only we knew people close to us who.
Physical sales of anime in Japan are huge. Like, they buy physical all the time, and we don't really do that here. But this is digital, yeah. But again, they can just turn on the TV 8 o'clock, whatever, Tuesday night, and this show will be on.
Do they have Tuesdays in Japan?
They do, yeah.
Is that what I sound like?
They actually do. They have all the same days of the week. So I wrote about that because I'm struggling with it, but I really want to see the show. I want to support the studio. So it's just, now I'm going to have like one random anime show that I own on some, like if I'm going to buy it.
It's never going to be available any other way though.
Who knows? Got no idea. Maybe 10 years from now, it will be. Maybe a year from now, it will be.
The other thing we have with like media is like we just have the expectation that it's going to come to one of these major streaming services within the next couple of years.
That could happen, and I have no information to show that it will or it won't. But yeah, I could wait 5 years and be like, it's finally on something I have.
You can pirate it.
I could pirate it, but I won't. That's what plenty of people are doing because they don't want to pay. I have no problem paying for it. I really don't have a problem paying for something I want to see. It's just I don't need to own it. Let me decide if I want to own it first. And if I want to own it, that means it's important to me and I want it physically. When it comes to TV shows and movies, that's what I want to do. But whatever. And then the last thing I talked about is a story that we got to break. I'm so excited we did because people knew that I wanted this and it happened. We, out of nowhere, found out that Bakeru is getting localized, which is a game I've been crying about, wanting it to get localized. I wrote a Patreon about it not that long ago. I wrote a Patreon about how I thought the game looked awesome. Then I wrote a Patreon about, well, I guess we're not getting this game here. And now I wrote a Patreon about, holy crap, it's coming to North America and Europe. Bakeru. It's Bakeru. It's coming out September 3rd. There's a demo out right now. It's Switch exclusive. It's made by Good Feel, who did whatever, Yoshi's whatever, and other Nintendo titles. It's the spiritual successor to the Mystical Ninja franchise, and I'm a huge Mystical Ninja fan. So anything that's channeling the spirit of Kid Ying and Dr. Yang, I'm all over, or Goemon, as we should be saying.
I wanted to bring this up too.
I brought it up
because the main character. Go finish what you're saying.
So a fan was nice enough to reach out to me through email earlier this week, and they're like, "Hey, that game that we thought wasn't going to get localized, it just popped up on the Australian Switch eShop servers, and it says there's going to be a demo." And I was like, "What the hell is going on?" So we broke that news, and I was very happy we did because I'm so excited about that game. And then it went all around the internet as it usually does. Plenty of outlets did not source us. I've been in the game a long time, 20 plus years. I know that's how it is. Everybody pretends like they're the ones that saw it first and they don't source anybody. I want to give a very special shout out to Nintendo Life. They sourced us. They always source us. Thank you to Nintendo Life. They always source us if we are the source of something. I spoke to one of their people individually and was like, thank you for doing this. Thank you for crediting. I was like, you guys know how it is. People don't source appropriately. And they were like, yep, see it all the time. They've been around for a very long time too. So recognized game. Thank you to Nintendo Life for sourcing us. But we were officially the ones that broke that story. So yes, it's coming out September 3rd. There's a demo available right now, and it's a pretty sizable demo. I think you get about a half hour out of it, and there's like an easy level, a harder level, a little story thing, and something else. So, Nicky Hill, go ahead. I'll be talking about it later.
I wanted to just ask or call attention to the fact that the main character has like a a Game Boy camera on his head. It's basically what it looks like.
I need to look at this.
Yeah.
Show me.
I'll show you.
Show me to me, Rachel.
No, I won't show you.
All right, don't show me.
Well, I can't get to a thing here.
But I've seen everything.
Oh, that's his hair. That's the coloring of his hair.
Yeah, but it looks like a Game Boy camera. And you can't say it doesn't, because it does.
I would say it doesn't. I would say it looks like a tanuki tail.
I think it looks like hair. This guy.
I don't see it. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I don't see it.
Okay.
Wrong.
It's also
wrong.
Does it? Does it?
It looks pretty good. Yeah, it looks like it. Looks similar.
You can say yes. It's okay. No
I would
one's gonna
say
think
yes
less
if
of
I
you.
agreed. I don't think it looks like that. I could see why you're saying it. I'll give it a 15%. Looks like
Couple
a Game
of
Boy
circles,
camera.
concentric circles.
Mhm.
It's wrong.
I didn't say you're wrong. I didn't say you're wrong. There's no wrong here. I'm not saying you're wrong because there isn't a wrong. It's what you think. You think it looks like that. I don't think it looks like that.
You think
but
it looks like that.
we're not
I
wrong.
think you're crazy. That's what he said.
I don't think you're
wouldn't
crazy.
have
You see things in ways that none of us do, and maybe you have some allies in the chat. Deux says he
I
agrees.
see it more. Yeah, I see more than what was it that you said you saw?
A tanuki tail.
A
Yeah,
tanuki
I
tail.
saw it more than a tanuki tail myself, but
There you go.
but maybe I was
Wrong.
So we will be talking about that more later because I played the demo. But that's it for your Patreon stuff. So you can join that for $1 and get in on a conversation or our fun games.
How much?
How much is the Patreon? Go Nintendo Patreon?
Where?
Well,
For
actually, it's $1.
Where?
Go Nintendo or patreon.com/Go Nintendo. And I did very quickly. I did some testing of streaming and recording. Things are looking good. I know I said Nicky Hill and Deux, we're going to get him in that golf game. I'd love to do some Switch Sports bowling as well. There's ideas, but I did some testing. It went well. So things are moving along. But right now, let's get out of Patreon and let's go over to the real news of the week. Deux, sorry to put you on the spot again, but if you could, the news jingle. Finally. Started off the week with a great story. One that I was happy about, Deux was happy about. Developer Tango Gameworks. You probably know them best from, well, you might know them from The Evil Within, but you probably know them best from Hi-Fi Rush, the award-winning Hi-Fi Rush. which there were rumors of it coming to Switch. But
Just like Tom Bergeron.
That's right. We never got to see if that was actually happening because Microsoft was like, hey, Tango Gameworks, thanks for putting out that award-winning game for us. By the way, we're closing your studio. So Microsoft was like, nah, we're done with these guys. That studio's over. And everybody's like, what the hell, man? You bought up these studios to make original content and unique stuff. And they gave you a multi-award-winning, extremely unique game that you said was selling well. And you celebrate that and recognize their hard work by closing the studio?
What the heck?
What the heck is right? Well, thankfully, out of nowhere, Krafton, Krafton.
Oh, the cheese people?
No. This is the company behind PUBG and other big games.
Krafton, like Krafton? The craft?
Sure.
I got a Krafton.
They announced that they are reviving Tango Gameworks. They said, hey, that studio's not going to close. We're actually going to take it under our umbrella. So Tango is a developer under the Krafton publisher label. So on top of that, they said they have plans to continue the Hi-Fi Rush IP. So how are they going to continue it? A new game, other ports. Maybe it will end up coming to Switch or to Switch's successor. We don't know, but Hi-Fi Rush will live on. Tango will live on. So that's great news. They did say that they are bringing over 50 of the 100 employees that were at Tango. I don't know if that means they can't afford all of them. I don't know if that means other employees that were at Tango already found work elsewhere, because I'm sure some of them did. But Tango lives on, not just in name, in developer as well, and franchise. So great news all around. Very cool to see. Very demure. Very cutesy. So I don't know. This went on like extremely quietly. Nobody knew that this was happening. There were no rumors of this or anything. It was just like, bam, they're alive. We're bringing them back. So great to see. We've heard too many stories. Every week has a story of how a studio is closing, but now we have one of a studio being revived. Totodile says, incredibly good news. I started playing Hi-Fi Rush on PS5, and it's such a unique and fun idea. Obviously, a bunch of talented creatives at Tango Gameworks. Glad to see hope for a sequel. Yeah, the hope is very much alive. We don't know how they're going to continue the franchise, but the franchise will live on. So, like I said, great story to start off the week. Moving on.
We gotta celebrate.
Please don't look at the story if you haven't already.
Oh, I almost
The
did.
Splatfest has come to a close. It was the which could you eat every day, bread, rice, or pasta? Which team came out on top? You guys want to guess?
Is this worldwide?
It's North America and Europe.
Pasta.
Pasta is the winner.
I would have said pasta,
Pasta
too.
is the winner.
You can, right? We both can say
The
pasta.
dust has settled. The ink has been splatted, and the winner in the end was Team Rice.
Oh.
Team Rice wanted it more than everybody else. The one I would have thought would have the hardest time winning was the winner. So bread and pasta fell to Rice. It is what it is, people. I've seen
Do we have numbers?
Huh?
Do we have like percentages or anything with that?
We can.
How close was it?
We can look up the numbers. I don't have them in this
I don't
post,
really
but-
care. We don't need to. I mean, if it's there.
Do we have numbers? I can get them.
I'm
We don't want them.
lazy. I don't, you know.
No, I don't know, because you'll do this a lot where you're like, here, I would like to know more about this. And I'll go, I could get it for you. And you go, I don't want to hear.
I don't want to waste time.
Yeah, it's kind of like
Waste time. It's a Nintendo podcast.
Yeah, but we haven't eaten.
And we're talking about pasta and rice.
Exactly.
And bread. Sticer says, Rummy in shambles right now. You're right, friend. I was in shambles. I was shocked, but I have no right to be in shambles or to be shocked, because was I out there in the battlefield? No. So I got
They were talking about preference to eating, right? Not like what you would put your phone in if it got wet.
Nice.
PC, that's right. No mom brain. And Nicky Hill, well, never mind. Dude's going to do it. There it is. So,
My brain.
no. And also,
We speak your
it's
name.
an old wives' tale.
I speak your name.
And what
My
else?
brain.
What could be your two other options for a phone? Rice, leave it out on the windowsill,
Desiccant.
or
Do you save all those little packets of
do you
do
eat the
not
rice
eat?
afterwards?
The packets of do not eat, like the silica.
I have a lot of
You
them
don't.
because we've been going to H Mart, and well, we haven't been in a while, but when we Max seem to have those in them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like
Oh,
everything we
that's-
get has those in them.
Probably not great for the environment, but great for the snacks.
Also, not great news. Perfect segue.
Unless it opens, then it's terrible for the snacks.
Also, another great segue because this is terrible news. Rachel Lillis, the voice of Misty, Jessie, Jigglypuff, and more in the Pokemon anime, has passed away, sadly. I've seen conflicting reports of her being 46 or 55. I don't know which one it is.
That's a spread.
I went around to like read all the other reports, and it was like a 50-50 shot of the age, so I don't know, but doesn't because whatever years they have, they will get no more. Rachel Lillis has passed away. She was battling cancer and lost the fight, sadly, but her work will live on forever because plenty of people still have memories of all those voice. I mean, we're talking about characters. Jessie, come on. Jessie from Pokemon. Misty from Pokemon. Those are like major characters there.
Jigglypuff's the
Jigglypuff.
one that I know, and you know that I'm the biggest
Of
Pokemon aficionado there is.
Some
so-
might say that you had a student film where there was a character named Jigglypuff.
Yeah,
and
that's
that
actually
wore a Jigglypuff necklace.
that's where it came from because of that little song that Jigglypuff sings.
puts people to sleep,
Yeah,
yeah.
I remember it.
The news was shared by Veronica Taylor, the original voice of Ash from the Pokemon anime. She said, "It is with a very heavy heart that I share the news of the passing of Rachel Lillis on Saturday evening, August 10th. Rachel was an extraordinary talent, a bright light that shone through her voice, whether speaking or singing. She will forever be remembered for many animated roles she played. With her iconic performances of Pokemon's Misty and Jessie being the most beloved, Rachel was also thankful for all of the generous love and support that was given to her as she battled cancer. It has truly made a positive difference. Her family also wishes to thank you as they take this time to grieve privately. A memorial is being planned for a future date." I'll let you know about that. Pokemon Company also shared a statement. They said, quote, "We are deeply saddened to hear about the passing of Rachel. Her performance in the Pokemon animated series will be cherished by the many fans who grew up with the characters she brought to life. With her special talent, she will be remembered for generations to come, and we will always keep her close in our hearts. Our thoughts and condolences are with her family and friends." So nice messages for a sad occasion. Lucius says, "Her work, especially as Jessie, feels as weird as it is for me to describe, as timeless. I've never considered it possible for someone so sassy, so vinegary, so full of life to leave us. I hope she spent her last months in peace, and she knew she'd have more than a few upset fans and friends. Rest peacefully, lady. Thanks for entertaining us for so many years. You have blasted off for the last time to your place in the stars." That's a line from Jesse and James. Team Rocket tributes were all over the place. Even WWE on their social media did a tribute to Team Rocket for for the voice actor for Jesse passing, which was pretty cool to see. So lots of love out there. But again, we're sorry to Miss Lillis. She will not be forgotten. Our condolences to friends and family and all those impacted by her passing. But her work will forever live on, and obviously Pokemon fans are die-hards, so there's no way her voice work or characters will ever be forgotten. All right, moving on to something much less serious. Do not look at this, Nicky Hill or Do. This is the July 2024 software in the UK. I will go through it once. Nicky Hill, please pay attention. Do please pay attention. July 2024, only the UK. Digital and physical combined, but as always, Nintendo's numbers are not included digitally. So any Nintendo game on this list is only physical, but it encompasses all games. So Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo. Top 10 July UK only. Nicky Hill, begin.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Hogwarts Legacy. Number 4. Very safe bet.
Switch Sports. You just told me.
Switch Sports. No, it's over. You win, Nicky Hill.
You told us before the show started that was killing it because
Okay,
the
I'm gonna
Olympics.
say this one more time.
Was that in August?
That was August Switch eShop. This is July UK physical and digital.
So the Olympics didn't exist in July. Don't they happen every 2 years?
They
There's
start
every
did they
4
not
years.
start in August, or was it very, very, very late July?
I don't know.
All I'm gonna say is
No,
I
late
don't
July.
mind losing the quote game, but
Well,
I
that's
was
the game.
given
Yeah.
I was given false information before this podcast started.
You were given again Switch eShop for August 17th in North America. You got it literally from yesterday or today. Sorry.
You should have
Save
been a
it,
little clearer, I
Save
think.
it and bring it up
He knew.
next time.
He knew.
No, I didn't. I just went with Hogwarts Legacy
Thank
because I
you.
knew
No, no,
he
no, no, no,
played
no,
it.
no, Thank you for being honest.
That's not what we're talking about. You
Thank
knew
you
the
for being
August
honest.
Switch eShop thing
August Switch eShop thing about.
earlier today.
Well, I wouldn't say that I knew that it was just specifically August in eShop. I just that you said that, and I thought it was
Am I
just
listening
much.
to Trump here?
It was more recent. I didn't think it was specifically
I hope
like
not,
August
because he's making a lot of
17th.
sense to me.
Not that it was specifically August 17th numbers or whatever.
Okay.
It's just that it was like over the last couple weeks.
Did you know
it's
it was
been a
Switch
top
eShop?
seller. I don't think I did, but it would have to
Exactly.
be.
Thank
I guess
you.
it
It would have
Thank
to be.
you.
It's exactly right.
But again,
Oh, so now we're supposed to
no,
deduce things?
No, I said it. I'll go back and rewind the show. I'll do it.
no, but I wouldn't. I wasn't.
Somebody clip that and put it in the Discord.
I wasn't answering it because it was or wasn't eShop.
Wuzzle.
I'm sorry, Dew. I said Hogwarts Legacy because it was UK and because I knew you played it and it would be on the top of your list to say, and I had to
Perfect.
get it in there if I'm first to go.
No, it was a smart play. It
I
was a smart
also-
play.
I still don't even know what the list is that we're checking off of because
Even though I said
Is
it
it
twice and I specifically told you both to
Nintendo
listen.
numbers.
This is a bit. This better be a bit.
It's not.
Can I tell him? Because I know.
Yes, go ahead.
All right. Hogwarts Legacy. No, I'm just kidding. No, just kidding. So it's in the UK for July 2024, digital and physical. But remember, Nintendo only does the
Digital and
Digital.
physical.
The man could not have said it any more.
Digital
perfectly.
and physical for all things, all
Yeah.
platforms. Okay,
Yes.
that's all I was saying. It was at all platforms.
Yeah.
Because
That's why I said
that's
that,
what
yes.
I dove in with all.
Remember how I
platforms
said Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo?
See, that I don't remember, but I did
That's
know
funny
the
'cause
digital.
I specifically said it.
I heard you say digital and physical. Nintendo doesn't.
Rewind the
Re-
clip. Play
re-
back the clip. I
or-
said it. Here's a
No,
question
I'm sure
for
you
me.
did.
Here's
I'm
a
sure
question for
did.
you. How do I get your attention any more than saying Nicky Hill specifically listen to this?
Perhaps it's not. It's not about you getting my attention. It's that I have a problem.
And here's the other part. In my head, I knew what I was going to do, and that's how I did it. I said, pay attention, and I explained it forwards and then
And
backwards again.
And as any
I went in and went out the
and
way I
as
came
any
in.
child would behave, I said, okay, I'm paying attention, but I wasn't fully.
Okay.
But also,
Fair enough.
Also,
Fair enough.
even if I was
It's one
fully,
of those situations where you say to your parents, I'm paying attention, and then they talk, and you're like, oh my God, I wasn't listening.
but even when I am giving you my full attention, things I do not retain information in the same way. And
Dexter.
no, it's not that. It's
Surprise,
listen,
mother effer.
when I'm watching TV more and more recently, even though I'm watching with full attention, I have to
Dexter.
rewind because a sentence is said and people react. And I'm like, why are they reacting this way? Because I did not
Do you have the
receive.
subtitles on?
No.
Put them on.
But then I get
TV's too far away to
distracted.
see.
Oh my gosh.
There's some of your own medicine.
No, I
today.
keep seeing
Oh,
all these
man.
ADHD things and people are talking about it. And I'm like, you know what?
dude.
I think I'm in it because like
you and I both.
like the
we when we grew up, they weren't looking at that, and I swear, like,
and there's one video that I just saw recently.
They didn't. Thank you for saying it like that. They weren't looking for that instead of what the boomers say. They didn't have that when I was a kid.
oh right, yeah.
No, but like my entire life, people look at me and they speak.
Oh, no.
And my entire life, I hear the words coming out of your mouth, but my very first reaction is what? And then halfway through you explaining it again, I already know what you said, and then I can respond. And then you're like, well, if you knew what I said, why did because I'm still
Well,
processing.
that's a great.
I'm
That's
processing
great.
at a different speed. And Mr. Motormouth Micro Machines over here.
You do talk fast and think fast.
And
I do speak fast.
I
know
can't
that.
even repeat what you said because it's words.
Well, I have
and I'm
great
bad with
news for
words.
you. That is, if what you are saying is what you have, that's an auditory processing issue that can be fixed with medication. My cousin, I'm not going to get into the specifics, but she has an auditory processing issue. She didn't know that was a thing at all until I told her. She went to her therapist and talked about it. They sent her to a
The
doctor.
therapist said we can treat that, and she said what?
And the doctor treated her with ADHD medication, and now she is infinitely better. And she said to me not that long ago, "Thank you for telling me that. I was crazy. I didn't know that's an actual issue. So go to a doctor or therapist and bring it up, and they will get you the medication you need."
You are crazy, but it's a good thing there's medication.
And that's not
for it.
crazy. It's
Well,
it's
not
a
crazy, but
processing issue.
it's a real
It's
issue.
a real thing that you can get taken care of.
I'm not saying you're crazy if that's how you are, because I'm in the same
But
boat.
now you know. So
At
you
this
can
point,
handle it.
you're crazy if you don't get treated.
There
for
you
it.
go.
However,
I'm not doing it.
I can't afford to, but hey, we'll try our best.
There you go. Don't go like
If you wanna
4
do it-
hymns or some garbage like that.
If you want it for hers, if you
Well,
want
especially don't do for hers.
if you want to do a charity event, I'm open to receive.
Charity.
Yes.
Oh, gotcha. PS5 was number 1 in terms of hardware sales. Switch was number 2, and Xbox was number 3. Once again, showing that Microsoft cannot get
Are
anybody
these
to buy
only
that damn thing.
Nintendo numbers though?
The Xbox numbers were only Nintendo numbers.
It was a good look.
Human Far says, "No, everybody 1-2 Switch. I'm disappointed in the UK." Now, there you go. There's a joke about it.
Beautiful.
Um,
That's the same joke that I made.
They have similar
Right?
similar
Joke.
accents, but
Right,
completely
joke.
different parts of the world. Right?
Are
Are their accents similar? Probably wrong. I'm sorry if I offended
between where and where?
Australia and England.
No, they
They're
are not similar.
Very different.
But
they
in
are
Australia,
accents.
they are accents. The difference is
I'm right about
you
that.
have to any word with an O in Australia, you add an R into it as well, and that gets you
Now,
your Australian.
Warsh?
As an
I said
American,
O.
as an American, I feel like
I feel
because
this.
obviously we speak English. In the UK, they
We
speak
speak
English,
American.
and then in Australia, they speak English. So, as an American, I feel like Australians and the British sound more similar than we do to either of them.
Yes.
But I'd wonder if they would think
And
or
then there's
different.
all kinds of, there's multiple different British
Dialects.
dialects. Yeah. So like, different sound very
Is that a
different from
dialect?
others.
Yeah, right.
Sure. We have more rumors about the Switch's successor. Games.
So is this all
game-
platforms or just Nintendo?
The Switch's successor? That would be just Nintendo.
This guy.
Games industry insider said that he's been hearing developers have been told that the Switch's successor won't come based on the rumors that we're hearing. We shouldn't expect until at the very earliest April, and then to take it further, we're hearing April or May
That's
or June. It could be.
so
it won't be this fiscal year. So
that's
that eliminates.
I thought that's like fourth quarter 2024.
It won't be this fiscal year. Fourth quarter 2024 would be holiday season. October, November, December.
I thought
Fiscal year and regular year are different.
well fiscal
Fiscal
year
year
24 or whatever.
would be
isn't it?
January, February, March.
March. That's fourth quarter.
Yes. So April would be the beginning of the next
But
fiscal
that's
quarter.
quarter 4 24 or whatever, right? Isn't that how
Quarter
they call
4
it?
24 is
December?
October, November, December.
This is frustrating. I thought
Fiscal and regular.
everybody's fiscals are the same.
Well, we don't. Well, they are, but we don't operate on a fiscal calendar. We operate on a 12-month calendar. So our quarters are.
I thought it's like school years where like they span and they still consider that the 24. I don't know, whatever.
Why do
Doesn't matter.
financial quarters? Why are they so strange? I don't know that, but so yeah, we're hearing rumors are that it's going to be April at the earliest, but April, May, June is what we're hearing most likely. Again, rumors from insiders and industry specialists. Nothing official at this point.
And that's release. That's rumored release
That would be
date.
release, yes.
Not when they're going to talk about it.
No, if they're gonna do it, no, yeah, we
They
would
better
hear
start
about it this
talking
year.
soon, right?
Probably talk.
I mean, I don't know why. It doesn't matter. It's not like the Switch is hurting. They don't
Yeah.
need to.
I don't know.
I do know. They're
Financial
not.
world looks at it and they're like, "Oh, they're doomed. They didn't sell as many this
What are you
season, this
buying?
quarter."
Yeah, I mean, when you reach an install
They're
base
really-
of 135 million and they're 7 years in, it's not going to be a big surprise that you're not going to sell more in your 7th year than you did
but
your
they
first.
all just act like, oh, they're really struggling with sales.
It's
like,
because the goddamn business industry has an obsession with you
Growth
always
and-
have to do better,
Right.
and it always has to be bigger than last time.
Yeah.
That's not sustainable for anybody. That
Right.
does not happen for anything anywhere.
I think that was how like Netflix was looking at their subscriptions and viewers, and it's like you're obviously not going to double and triple
we can't have
your
infinite
viewership
growth.
from season 1 to season 2 of a show. Like you're not going to get more subscribers because say you had 7 million subscribers watching a series on season 1. Those people aren't going to cancel and then resubscribe for season 2. Like you're only going to add to it. So like you're not going to keep growing, exponentially. It's just frustrating.
Yes, it is very
It's the
frustrating.
same, and it's the same way with the growth and everything else. And that's, is that all the world though? Or
Dude,
is it really just American
I don't know.
finance? Because
I don't
I
know.
don't know. Then you look at something like, did you see the story about the Arizona iced tea owner?
Yes,
And he's like, hey, we're not raising our prices
Yes.
from the $1.99.
man. So I like that company for that in
we
general.
don't need to make, like, if we're making millions of dollars and everybody's getting paid, that's enough. We don't need to make billions of dollars where one person gets paid.
I like that
shovel
company in
time.
general, and I like that price approach in general. But after seeing that video of that guy, man, do I like that guy too?
Yeah.
He's stylish. He seems like a normal guy. I like what he stands for. That
What
was
is he
great.
dressed like a
He's
Arizona
dressed like a
iced tea
normal
can?
guy.
Oh.
He's just like a normal guy.
He's dressed like the green tea with ginseng. The best
I
one.
will say that I have never seen a longer comment from someone, and all the comments on this post are very long, so I'm not going to read them. But Backfug has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Words?
10 paragraphs
Oh.
in response to this and how they don't really like Chris String. So go read that novel if you want on your own. Thank you very much for the comment, Backfug. I'm not knocking it at all, but it's too long for what we do here. But that's what we like to see is
I already
conversation
forgot
like
who
that.
Chris String is.
The industry insider analyst that made these comments to begin with.
Thank you.
You got it.
I already
been
forgot
great
what the
if-
comments were.
About the Switch's successor coming out in April,
Kinda
May,
wish-
or June.
I remember all of that now. Thank you.
You got it. That's what I'm here for.
Nintendo series. Nintendo hardware.
Only in the UK. Digital.
um
Not physical. Also, I'm going to piggyback on that because another
yes.
more speculation about the successor came out or inside
It
information.
helps
This is
us narrow
according to
down.
Toyo securities analyst Hideki Yasuda. They say that the Switch successor will be out sometime in the first half of 2025. So again, that would line up with up to June.
Dr. Dring.
And they're saying the price will be under $500. Does that mean $499? Does that mean $399? Does that mean $450? They aren't saying, but I'm guessing if they say under $500, they mean $499. So
$498.97.
there you go. It's like that clock game on Price is Right, my favorite one.
Curbo,
Kirbo, hold on one second. Kirbo says, I don't think anyone needs to be an analyst to make such a safe claim, to be honest. Kirbo, the job of an analyst, they say pretty much what everybody thinks, and you're like, I could do that. I shouldn't say that. I don't know the ins and outs of being an analyst. From the outside looking in, it does look like I could say that stuff.
But the frustrating thing is that, again, what you said earlier, analysts have such high expectations for things and sometimes very unrealistic expectations. When the company doesn't match those expectations, they're doomed to fail.
Yes.
But we have a developer saying no sooner than April 2025.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have an analyst saying first half. So we're looking at April, May, or June.
That's
what
what
they do.
Are you doing
said
this on
that already?
purpose? Yeah, I said it multiple times.
Well,
Yeah.
I was formulating this, so I
This
wasn't
is
fully
insane.
listening.
This is insane. I appreciate your auditory issue, undiagnosed.
Huh?
Hopefully we get it diagnosed. But yes, I said that. I'm going to say at least 3 times: April, May, June, April, May, June, April, May,
Yeah,
June.
April, May, or maybe even June.
We have more rumors about the Switch successor. Apparently, Ubisoft is ready to go all in, which we have seen Ubisoft do before. They did it with the Wii U, and they're like, "Oh, we made a mistake." So they didn't do it with the Switch, and then they were like, "Oh, we made a mistake here too." And then they put out more stuff on the Switch, and now they're like, "Next system, we're not going to make that mistake. We're going to go all in."
They were all in on the GameCube. No,
What
kind
the
of.
hell did they do on the GameCube? Let's find out.
What to
Third
or Ubisoft? Isn't Beyond Good and Evil and the
Prince of Persia.
Prince of
Yeah, I
Persia?
don't know that I'd call that all in. No, they were on everything.
It felt all in for me because the games were released on like the same weekend.
They were on like a real
They weren't
tear
not
for a
there.
while, weren't they?
People nowadays say Ubisoft
But they didn't.
is
Did they?
not what
So
they used to be.
Why? I
you
just thought
probably
it-
already said it. They didn't really support the Wii early on.
I thought
No, I didn't say we at all. I said Wii U. They really
No,
did
that's what I'm saying.
support.
But I'm saying the beginning of the Wii, they were. I think they were one of the ones who were like, oh, I'm gonna hold off a little. Well, no,
No, they were there
Red
for the
Steel-
Wii hardcore.
Red Steel was like-
Rabbids.
was that
They
still
made a
like
whole new
launch?
franchise.
Yeah, you're right.
GameCube had pretty decent Ubisoft support too. Beyond Good and Evil, Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon and all that stuff, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, and Warrior Within, King Kong, Evolution Worlds, Batman Vengeance, another Rayman game, Splinter Cell games, multiple. So yes, I retract my statement. They were, I would say, for the most of the GameCube's life, all in. Wii U, they were all in the beginning and saw the writing on the wall and got out. Switch, they were like, let's hold off. Oh, we made a mistake. So now with Switch's successor, they're like, we got your back, Nintendo. So
are they the ones that just started bringing port after port after port after port though? Like some, which company
you
was
know, that's every company on every platform.
that? No,
So
but definitely for like the Wii. I feel like there was a company that wasn't really in at the beginning, and then they were like, they went crazy with
for what
ports.
system?
I think the Wii or the Wii U. I don't remember. What are we talking about?
Okay, since you don't know the company or the system, I'm not even going to
I don't
try
know.
and guess.
Yeah.
You disappear into your thoughts and try.
No,
and
but
figure
I
it
mean,
out.
you said even with Wii U, like they went all in and then they pulled back, right, or something.
That is what I said.
That's I'm confirming.
times now,
So maybe
yes.
maybe that is what I was thinking.
Because they had zombie games, Zombie U. They had.
oh yeah, that was fun. I
They
had
had
my
other stuff,
fun with
but yeah,
that.
they pledged big support, and then they were like, "Hey, this
Right.
thing's not selling."
Not
so
as
well."
bad as I think EA though, right? EA was like, we're going nuts, and then they were like, we're done with the game industry.
Yeah,
we're only doing
EA
sports.
was like, "We're going nuts." Here's Mass Effect 3 at launch. Here you go, Nintendo fans. The third installment of the franchise you've never experienced.
EA might be the company I was thinking of.
Why?
with the Wii.
Why would they?
They were
do
not
that?
they were not interested in the Wii initially, and then they saw it was popular, and they were like,
Boogie.
we got all this stuff coming, and then
Did tons
none of it
sports
came
games.
out. But like
EA had a lot of stuff. Think about the My Sims games alone.
there was something that happened though where they supported it in like a very like lackadaisical way or whatever,
They-
and then they were just like, we're done. We're
I
not
would argue they supported it in the way you should have early on and middle of the lifespan too. They weren't just like port. They were like, let's try and do some things for this system. So they did like Boogie, regardless of what you want to say about Boogie, if you think it's
What
a good
is
game or
Boogie?
not. They did Boom Blocks. They did the My Sims series.
did
They
all
did Tiger Woods, a whole bunch of them, but with motion controls. Like they were like, let's actually use this system and its features. But towards the last 2 years or so, they're like things aren't selling like they used to, and there's too much shovelware. Let's dial it back. So
Oh, maybe all right.
I
Definitely.
want to play that again with you guys. There's the Tiger Woods Motion Plus game that has the disc golf, and man, was that so much fun. The itch to play that again has been so strong lately. I
Man.
would love to do that with you guys.
Was there more than one Tiger Woods Motion Plus
Multiple.
Wii Motion Plus game?
Motion Plus in particular, there were, I don't know how many.
Okay, because
But
I had
just
one of
motion
them.
overall, there were multiple. And they even did the balance board support too.
Wow,
You could stand on the balance board with your Motion Plus to golf.
how cool!
Yeah, they were a lot of. I played a ton of that on my own and with my dad. Like they used to come over every Thursday night. They still do, but we would play like a whole round of 18 on the balance board, and oh man, it was so much fun.
That's so cool. Was your
Um,
dad any good at it?
Not bad. Yeah, not bad. And he played it exactly like he played regular golf, so it was very painful to watch, but also funny. Like he had like his whole like addressing the ball and getting in the stance took like not exaggerating 5 minutes every time. Like hands up in the air, very slowly down in front of him, shuffle his feet, look at the TV, shuffle his feet, look at the TV, like adjust the wrist strap, and then shuffle his feet again. Like every time he did it. But it was fun. Anyway, Ubisoft. Rumor has it they're going all in on the Switch. So what are they doing? Let me tell you. This is according to N. Weedle and Necro Philippe, two people who have leaked a whole bunch of stuff in the past that has been true. Doesn't mean this is true, but They've gotten things right. Ubisoft is apparently working on Assassin's Creed Shadows for the Switch successor, which is the brand new Assassin's Creed that's coming out. The Japanese one that people are being mean about because let's not get into it.
There's a woman as a playable
There's a
character.
woman and a black guy, and it's an Asian-focused game. What's going on here?
No,
We're not getting into it.
You betrayed me, Ubisoft.
So the port Deux is being facetious, by the way. I just want to make sure.
Oh yeah, of
Yes,
course.
100%. I just wanted to back
People
you up
would
there.
think that was serious. Oh.
You never know. I just wanted to get rid of any doubt.
Doesn't matter. It can
And
be-
not doubt because of who you are, doubt because of the
taken out of
internet.
context.
Understood.
Assassin's Creed Shadows apparently is getting a port, as are Mirage, Valhalla, Odyssey, and Origins. According to the rumor, some of those games will be bundled together, not Shadows, obviously.
And they will
but
be
Odyssey
adding women
Origins
and black
stuff
people
like
to
that.
all of them.
There's also rumors of.
Wait a minute.
No. Please just let me do this.
Okay.
Skull and Crossbones or Skull and Bones coming over to the Switch as well. So there you go. Yes.
So
now,
Skull and Bones is not Assassin's Creed. What is that?
that is, it's a pirate game.
And they're using all white bones, so don't worry.
No black bones.
Okay. And why are we not talking about the Ubisoft Sega crossover of Assassin's Creed Shadow?
This is Shadows.
So
Sorry.
multiple. They're cloning them now.
I know my
Good for
Sonic
him.
lore, but not to the degree that many people do. I don't believe there's a Shadow clone. I could be wrong.
I mean,
Maybe in the
You guys
comics.
new
there's another
games.
one.
Saying these
lore
to me and not
changes.
saying them.
What?
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh, I got you. So again, not surprising for Ubisoft to be like, we're going to support this system and bring out Assassin's Creed everything. Of course, what are they going to do? It's be like, what a surprise! They're going to do Ghost Recon games, and they're going to do what else do they have?
Ubisoft, The Division, but that,
Aren't they-
that-
They're all
done with
Tom
that, right?
Clancy's
Yeah.
things. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Here's
yeah.
a shocker. They're doing Tom Clancy stuff for the Switch's success. I'd be like, oh yeah, of course they are. So we haven't heard that, but Assassin's Creed.
Oh well,
it's-
a new Mario and Rabbids or something, I guess, right? That would make sense.
Well, again, the second one didn't sell all that well. My understanding is it matched the pace of the original, so I don't know where it is now. So it could be great now, but as we've discussed in the past, people are like, I'm not going to buy a Ubisoft game at launch because it's going to be 70% off a month later. So whatever.
How was Prince of Persia doing?
There's been no sales updates since it just came out on PC, so I'm sure it got a little bump. I'm going to guess. I'm being generous. I'll guess 20,000 people jumped on the PC version. And if there's another Mario and Rabbids, I don't know who's going to lead it because Mario and Rabbids man left Ubisoft. They just announced like a month ago he's leaving Ubisoft.
Wow.
It's over the guy who cried at E3 and made one of the greatest moments ever. Why can't I remember his name? That's terrible. You can see the guy's face perfectly. You can see the tears forming in his eyes.
It's not Charles Martinet.
No. Can someone in the Discord help me out with that guy's name? I cannot believe I'm blanking on that. My phone is, I apologize, completely frozen. Oh, it's slowly coming back to life. He even follows me on Twitter and I follow him. Hi, Donut Muffin. Good to see you. Hi, Gecko Kitsune. I'm so sorry. Hi, Darmani. Good to see you. I apologize for not saying hi to all you. Hello, Freddie Fro. Hello, Rosemary. What is that? I want to remember it before it comes to the Discord, but I know I won't.
Okay, well,
Well, we'll go into the comments about these rumored Ubisoft ports to the Switch's successor. My phone is hurting so much. Hawk says, I'm not interested in any of these games, but I like the idea that Switch 2 might be a hospitable place to port new games to, much like the Switch was and is and forever shall be.
Yeah. So with whatever Switch 2 is, developers that generally make those like high graphical games for PlayStation or Xbox, they don't really have an excuse anymore to not
Davide
bring some of
Soliani.
these.
Saul Messerling, thank you. I wanted to say that name before I forgot.
It's okay.
Excuses for not bringing games over. To tell you the truth, the Switch generation, they haven't really used that excuse all that often. Like they've been like, yeah, we could make it work. It'll be, we got to work with
And
a
they'll do
specialist.
cloud
but
stuff, or
it's
they'll
been
do
the best
whatever
out of
else.
all of them.
Maybe because it's so popular, people want to be on the system. Obviously,
It's
so-
undeniably popular, and your other backbone that you leaned on, Microsoft, Nobody's buying a system.
Right.
So it's like it was the perfect storm for Nintendo. A system that people buy and continue to buy. And you're always like, people on Microsoft and Sony platforms buy our games. And other people were like, yeah, because you never give the support to Nintendo. And now everybody's like, not everybody, a whole bunch of people are like, we're not buying an Xbox. We don't want it. So they're like, uh-oh, jig is up. Now we got to be like, yeah, we'll support Nintendo. So that's why you get The Witcher 3 and other, there's a whole bunch of them. Of course, I'm blanking on all of them outside of Witcher 3, but that's why those
Doom.
ports happen. Doom Eternal and Doom 2016, that we have to call it because we name things the same name again.
Whoa.
It's the spoon.
Knives are spoonsy.
But yes, as the successor comes out, that excuse gets weaker and weaker because the difference between platforms gets smaller and smaller. So because even if you think the PS5 is the greatest thing in the world or the Xbox Series X is the greatest thing in the world, how many games you're playing on those systems where you're like, this is not possible on the PS4 or the Xbox One? I would argue none. I can't think of one.
Yeah, probably not.
Really?
it's the
Like
same thing.
one.
It's the
Look
same-
at the Star Wars game that came out, and I called it. I said that Star Wars game is going to Xbox One and PS4. I guarantee it. Now it is. So
Really? A month?
It's the same thing with that industry as it is with all the profits and everything else. It's just like, oh, it's got to be bigger and better, and they don't really focus on
Well, I saw
like the meat and potatoes.
something. Isn't Microsoft? Aren't they doing a handheld Xbox? Like, aren't they doing kind
if
of
you
like
saw
a?
that, then that is what we call a rumor. That's not from the, not even a rumor. That's just a nothing.
Okay.
Where'd you read that?
Probably on Reddit. I didn't even read
a
it. I
big
just saw the
nothing.
picture. I saw a picture of it, and it said they're getting into it, and I was like, I don't blame them. Obviously, Switch, is the
At
best.
Best, and this is absolute best. That is a shaky rumor. There's no official
Okay.
anything announced at all.
I'm doing it, and the PlayStation has something like that too. So
The PlayStation has basically a Wii U. Like that thing
Right.
doesn't have any technology in it that actually
you
plays
need
the game.
the
It's a
system
streaming
to.
service.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You're right.
Um,
So I didn't read any articles, saw the picture, read the stupid headline, and I was thinking that it was their answer to streaming thing.
yeah, they Microsoft supports other portable PCs that are out there, handheld PCs with their operating
see.
systems and stuff. But as far as Microsoft making their own like portable gaming device, there's nothing official, and rumors are rumors. But everything okay here, guys?
Perfectly fine.
But
Perfectly normal.
yes.
Totally
Look at the Steam Deck. Is the Steam Deck a sales success? We'll never know. You could bet your ass if the Steam Deck was selling millions and millions and millions, then Steam would be like, this thing's selling crazy. But how many PC players are like, I need a
You can
Steam
just say
Deck?
that one yourself if you want.
I need a
Seven.
Steam Deck. It's not, I don't want to say the Steam Deck's doing bad, but if I had to guess total Steam Deck sales, I'd guess somewhere in between 10 and 20 million. And I think 20 million is being extremely generous on that. I'd say 10 to 15 million. Pulling it out my ass, but I think I know something about the game industry. Let's do a little. Now I'm curious, and this
Snoop
is a video
Dogging?
game podcast. How many Steam Decks sold? There's not going to be an official number, but back in 2022, the research firm Omdia reported that the Steam Deck sold 1.62 million units in 2022. The report estimated that the Steam Deck would surpass 3 million units in 2023. Yeah, there's no official numbers. People are guessing like 10 million units would be like pie in the sky numbers. So, the people that are out there like Steam Deck is the Switch killer. Okay, sure. If it sells 1/13 of what the Switch did and you consider that a killer, then by all means continue your diatribe. But I'm not knocking the Steam Deck at all. I'm just saying it's not going to reach anywhere near the same audience any of the big three would, and especially Nintendo, because it's just catering to a different audience. So
I've seen
There you go.
whenever I
this.
see criticism of Nintendo,
On
now
Reddit.
exactly. Keep in mind where I'm looking. It's always about prices of their games. That's what people seem to have the biggest problem with. And actually not just Nintendo. I see like a lot of people saying things like they want to get like a dollar amount per hour played in the game. And I used to feel similarly to that, but like now I'm with you, RMC. You've turned me around on that. It's too weird to look at your entertainment that way, to break it down in such a way, and it's almost manufacturing false entertainment to reach a number in your head when you should just, or the opposite, it's a 4-hour game and I'm gonna pay $40 for it. No thanks. Like, I need a 60-hour game, so I'll miss this whole experience that could have been great or whatever. So
give me a 70-hour game that's $70 and it's okay. I'd rather take the game that's 8 hours for $70 and it's fantastic. Like, that's
exactly
crazy. I know I'm way on the opposite side of the fence on that one. I'm yelling from like 3 neighborhoods down about that, but people are very much like, it's $1 an hour, and if it's not that, then I'm not buying it. So that's insane. Because look at God of War, by any means a great franchise that's of a high caliber, but you buy the new God of War, whatever that was called, and that's going to be $70, and that game's probably going to be 10 to. I mean, like, nope, that's not doing it. That's ridiculous price. It's like, do you ever go to the movies? How do you justify going to a movie? Because you go to a movie and you pay $20 for 2 hours or something.
I get being frugal, or maybe you can't afford it. It's an expensive hobby.
That I get, yeah.
So that I totally understand. Like, it needs to hit this hourly criteria per dollar spent. It's too. It's too off the deep end.
The argument for me would be it has to hit a level of quality for me to be like, okay, the money was well spent. Or, if I spent $70 on something that sucked, if I spend $10 on something that sucked, I'd be like, it's that money. But, there's more wiggle room in the dollar amount versus how much I enjoy it versus dollar amount versus hours. Because I don't play games just to get a certain amount of hours out of them. It's just like why I don't like achievements. People are like, I need the achievements or I need the trophies. I don't play games to get I play the game for the game to know, like, oh, and then I have 60 other achievements I can grind for afterwards. If that's your thing, that's fine. But
I
don't know.
I've mentioned this before. When I got these new systems, I turned off the achievement and the trophy stuff, and I've never been happier. I really haven't.
Love it.
And I kind of liked them before, but since they've been off, I've realized that I liked the artificial, like, it wasn't adding anything to.
It's the dopamine hit.
Yeah, it wasn't adding anything, and I found later, looking back on a game where I wasn't interrupted with trophies or achievements, that were in my own head. Then it was like the achievement was, that part was great, or this was awesome.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with how fast I can speed run this level, or I want to see if I can jump on every enemy without getting hit, or I want to do headshots only. Like, I've done all that stuff, but I was never doing it to get an achievement. I was doing it because I thought it was fun, and I wasn't doing it because I wanted a trophy that said you did this thing. Like, I want to stress, if you're doing that, that's fine. I don't think that's wrong. But personally, that ruins a game for me. I don't want to see a little notification. I don't want to see a little, like, where most of these games are a developer like, oh God, we need 20 achievements. Okay, get through level 1 on easy, get through level 1 on hard, get through level 1 on ultimate, get through level 1 using just this gun, get through level 1 using just that gun. It's just like a checklist of, okay, we can just crank these out easily, and that's that. Whereas you can still do all those things on your own. It's just you make them, you come up with them, you do them in your head. I mean, we've seen so many achievements and all that over the years now that it's easy to come up with any of that stuff. You could do whatever challenge you think is fun, like climb this building without shooting any enemies, or whatever you want it to be. You can do it, but people need that little thing that pops up that's like, you did it. Here's a little thingy. Here's a little treat for you. But again, I'm not knocking you if you like those. It's just I don't like them.
I would like it when, like, a little achievement thing comes up when I'm doing something I didn't know would be an achievement, and it's almost like a different type of Easter egg for me, where it's like, oh, somebody thought of this and like made that like a goal for people to do. That's pretty funny. Like, but I never.
Yeah, I know
you know.
BioShock, I remember, has a couple of little the secret achievements were fun to unlock when you unlocked them.
Mhm.
But I think that was also part of my obsession with some of those games.
I like
it
when
became about the achievement.
I mean, I don't mean to like throw you under the bus here. I'm not, it's just part of the conversation. You're
beat.
talking about it in Fortnite, how you're like, now you got the mentality of, I got to get in there and do these challenges and all
Oh,
that
yeah.
stuff. And you're trying to wean yourself off of it. I think that's what happens. People like, it becomes a thing where they're like, I gotta do this.
It's
Not,
feeding the
I want to,
monkey.
I gotta. Yeah, I mean, I became fed up with achievements when they first started because I was like, I don't take this stuff out. I don't want, just let me play the damn game. Let the game be the achievement. But especially like Mass Effect, like I'm playing Mass Effect and something happens where it's like a sad story beat or an emotional story beat. And I'm like in the feelings of it. And it's like, and the thing pops up and it's like, you know, whatever, a tough decision. or
Love
whatever it
lies
says.
bleeding.
Yeah, something like that. And I'm like, well, thank you for taking me out of what I was feeling right now because I got this thing that pops up in my face. So, yeah, once I had the ability to turn all that stuff off, that's the first thing I do when I get a new system. It's funny we're talking about this today because Kit and Krista, former Nintendo employees, Kit and Krista, on their podcast, were talking about
Dark
that.
Gary?
He was not there. They were talking about that, and they were asked why Nintendo never had achievements or trophies. And obviously they don't have the upper level conversations, but they do have behind closed doors information. And they were saying that Nintendo always looked at it like they were making their games for them to be fun to play. And they didn't want people to have a thing where like some players could do it and other players couldn't do it. And they didn't want to make those players feel bad. They didn't want those players to be like, I can't get that trophy because I can't play that well. They're like,
Yeah,
we
you
don't
feel
want to make our players feel like
deflated
that.
or
We
excluded.
just want them to play the game and have fun as we made it. So very not surprisingly a very Nintendo answer to it all, but that's how it is. I don't remember what took us on that. Lots of rants this show that are actually video game related. This is crazy. Speaking of video games and Nintendo, Emio, the Smiling Man, Famicom Detective Club comes out August 29th. We're under 20 days away from, over 20 days away from it. It's coming soon.
Under 29th, maybe.
It's the 17th, so the 27th. Oh, so we're 12 days away?
Yeah.
Um,
This year is flying
Yeah.
by.
So it is a visual novel, which can sometimes be a tough sell for people, but Nintendo's doing something very interesting here. I don't know that I've ever seen anything
They
like
send a person with a bag over their head to read it to you.
this. Emio, the Smiling Man, is getting a free 3-part episodic demo. Starting on August 19th, players can download the episodic demo to play through Prologue and Chapter 1. 2 further chapters will be automatically added to the demo. Chapter 2 on August 22nd and Chapter 3 on August 27th. Players can then carry their progress forward to the full version of the game if purchased. For sneak peek, oh, no, never mind. That's really cool. So you're getting a demo that lets you try the game, play it in order that the story is actually going to play out. Then between now and launch, the demo will be updated 2 more times with 2 more chapters. So you're getting Prologue through Chapter 3
But
of the full game.
But they're also kind of, is it considered gatekeeping that they're not going to let you do it all at once? They're going to tell you when you can continue playing by releasing it at later times?
You're asking me if Nintendo's deciding how to put out their own game? Yes, they are.
No, but the demo, they're not just like, here's the demo. They're like, you're not going to overdo it here. Here's a little bit.
Wait, no, what?
I don't. He's doing the Nicky Hill.
No,
thing,
they're
so I
going to
don't know if
release
they're-
two
He's
the
mad.
prologue and chapter
He's
1.
mad that they're not putting out chapter prologue through 3 all at the same time.
It's just funny that they're like, we tell you when you play. We would
So-
like you to play when we tell you.
So if I miss playing the prologue,
You know, it's always going to be available. But
Okay.
you can't just binge
I'll
it.
say it one
You
more
can't
time.
just-
August 19th, the demo comes out. That demo includes the prologue and chapter 1. Then on August 22nd, on August 22nd, chapter 2 gets added. Then on August 27th, chapter 3 gets added. Then on August 29th, the whole game is out.
you've got a bunch of games you've never even played, so I wouldn't be over there like, oh, I'm gonna play the prologue in chapter 1 in 2 days, and it's not gonna be out yet for the rest of the
Yeah.
demo.
It's just
So
funny.
don't even do that.
No, but it's just funny that they're like,
funny.
that
It's
they're controlling
unique
it.
that they're
Well,
giving
all
you
right,
so much of
I
the
don't wanna have to
game.
do this, but isn't every demo that way? Because every demo is a piece of the full game.
Yeah, but they're not like, here's a piece, and then here's another little. I don't
So
know.
you're
it's
mad
just-
that
it's
they're giving you
interesting.
more before it comes out?
It's just it is an interesting way.
It is
God-
interesting that
God
they are
forbid I
doing
think
that. No, it's interesting. I
makes-
agree. I said I can't think of any other time where this has happened. I find it very interesting.
It makes me think that they want people to kind of get a little bit into it to
But
buy
take
the
your
game
time.
because a
Yes.
prologue or the prologue in the first chapter might not be, we don't know what it's like, but it might not be enough to entice people to buy this game. They've never, like, I know it's a thing that people have heard of, but I'm talking for myself, thing that we've never heard of.
Like they're
So-
they're teasing the next part of the demo. It's just like, it's interesting that it's like, oh, they're messing with us. Something's going on.
I don't know why
here.
you think they're messing with you. It's a story-based game where it's literally only about story. So they're giving you more of the story before the game comes out. It's like a visual novel. Visual novels are more popular than
they're
have
in
ever
cahoots
been.
with CEOs everywhere because they don't want people taking off of work to play all 3 chapters plus a prologue. They're like, you're going to play it.
I am
your
removing
spare
myself
time.
from this conversation.
You know what I'm saying, though.
This
This is the
I
guy
don't,
before we
and that's
started
why I
that was
removed
like,
myself.
let's start early.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Yeah.
We want to get this over
So
with.
anyway, if you're Nicky Hill, and I'm not saying that bothers you, you find it interesting, or you don't like being gate kept, as he said, you can still get the demo on August 29th and on August 27th. And guess what? It'll have the prologue to chapter 3 all there at the same
Yeah.
time.
I mean, you
So-
like to binge your shows. You don't want to have to wait for the next one to release.
but that's my point.
It's true.
and
There is no world where you can binge a demo because the demo is still only part of the full experience.
right, but you can still play through the whole demo the second it's released. You don't have to wait
Yes.
for level 2.
So both
demo-
options are there.
demo
If
one,
Dew
level
wanted
2,
to take
like,
that
it's just
approach,
crazy.
should he download this demo, and he wanted to keep the same cadence that he does with TV shows, then yes, I would suggest you get the demo August 27th, because then the demo, as far as its content goes, will be complete. But that gives you 2
Yeah.
days to go through prologue through chapter 3. So,
It's
and
just-
again, it comes out
it's-
the
it,
evening of August 27th.
it makes
So
me wonder.
you're not getting
why.
all of August 27th. Makes you wonder why.
Yeah.
We
want-
don't know why. Obviously, Nintendo knows why. My guess would be they want people to not rush through, experience the story, and think about things a little bit,
Yeah.
and anticipate the next
Oh,
chapter
yeah,
and be
that's probably
excited
what
That's
about
what I'm
it.
saying. They're gatekeeping. They're telling you how they want you to play the game. Period. That's it. That's all I was saying.
I don't know why you say gatekeeping though.
But
It's
I-
not gatekeeping.
I know I don't agree with the gatekeeping
Well,
thing.
maybe that's. I think I prefaced the whole thing by saying I don't know if it's the right term,
Okay,
but they're like,
they're dictating.
yes.
Well, I have a thing with this too, because I like to binge stuff. I want it, I want it all the same day, and it annoys me when they come out on a weekly basis. And I know there are people that like to watch things weekly, and for me, it's like, well, then watch an episode a week while I binge it. Why is it hurting you? The thing that bugs me is after that month, or those 2 months or 3 months is over, and the whole show is out, or the whole game, or the whole whatever it is out. It's going to be out forever for the rest of time, where anyone can just consume it as quickly as they want. So in your case, where you're like, they should just put it all out, and while you're saying they're putting it out episodically to get people to slowly intake it, well, guess what? When the game comes out, there's going to be those people that play the whole game the night they buy it. So
But the big difference
let
with
them
this
do
is-
that if they want to do it.
But the big difference
I'm with you, Nicky Hill.
Well, I'm not-
Yeah!
I'm
The
not.
big difference with this is it's a demo that's for free, so you could do that before and never buy it.
Yeah, everybody rise up with me.
And I'm not saying I'm like against it or whatever
Double.
for it. I'm just saying it's just funny that they're like, with the Wii, you'd play for an hour or whatever, and you'd get a little thing that says "take a break," right? This is them. They're basically being parents here. They're being the good parents, and they're saying you can play tonight, but after I only want you playing chapter 1, and then you go to bed.
Again, we don't know their reason.
And
None
then
of
we
us do.
watch
We can
Scramble
only
Funny.
speculate.
It's just
But I would imagine, Nintendo has put out plenty of
this
other
is
demos.
a heavy story. We don't want you to get too scared.
Nintendo has never put out, or Nintendo has put out plenty of other demos where they haven't done this. I really think the reason they're doing this is because it's a story-based game. It's a visual novel. It's a very specific genre, and they want to make sure it has a certain cadence to it. Obviously, that's to build excitement for the launch. But when the game comes out, yes, you will play it all at once. So I really think that's why they're doing something unique here, especially because they're building on buzz for a game that wouldn't have had a lot of buzz, because if people saw it was a visual novel at first, you would have already segmented that audience. But because they teased it the way they did, you're going to have a bigger audience than potentially you're certainly going to have a bigger audience than you would have beforehand. But
plus, if you read like 1 or 2 chapters of a story in like the library or in like the bookstore, you could easily probably put it down and walk out of the store. But if you read 4 or 5 chapters, you might want to buy the book.
Prologue and 3 chapters, that's pretty heavy.
Or the way I deal with things, it's like I watch 1 or 2 seasons of a show and I'm like, I'm not feeling it, but I keep watching it like a doofus. Or I read a book and I'm like, yeah, I'm 400 pages into this book. There's only 450 pages. I'm not feeling it, but it might get better. And like I just keep convincing myself I just have to keep trying.
Well, I do the 1 season and I'm in or I'm out. So, but anyway, the first part of the demo, which again is the prologue and chapter 1, comes out August 19th. So Monday night, it'll be out. Monday night. And there you go. That's pretty cool. I'm excited to play it. Very excited to play it. And remember, if you really want to go hardcore and really blow through things quickly,
play it with the lights off.
You can play the other 2 Famicom Detective Clubs on this Famicom Detective Club games on the Switch right now. There's the 2 others available right now, and you can get them physically. If you
is there any reason? Do we know? Is there continuation?
Seeing as how we don't know the story of this game, we don't know.
Well, what about Detective Club 1 and 2?
They're not 1 and 2. They have their own names, just like this one does. Are they related to each other story-wise? No.
Not at all.
Not at all.
Are you allowed to stay up all night and play those games?
You are.
Okay.
You can play them as quickly or as slowly.
We can do it. We'll have a sleepover.
Nothing more exciting than playing a visual novel together. It does have detective elements, so maybe you two can
tell
play
me
off
when
of
I
each
can
other.
press A to turn the page.
Why don't we have a
Let's turn
GoNintendo
hooch.
book club and we'll read the games?
I would love that, but
I'm
not saying this to be
I'm a
mean.
slow reader.
No, I'm not saying this to be mean. He wants to go through it as quickly as possible, so I don't think that would work.
Well, he would have to
Oh,
wait.
give me a break. Like if we were doing it for a thing, that I'd be fine with
I was
it.
being serious.
We
Yeah, if
read
you're
a
down with
chapter
it.
and then we get together. and
Well,
have
when the demo
tea.
comes, all right, we're doing it then. When the demo comes out,
No, there's 1 and 2 already.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
you want to play 1 and 2 before the new one comes out?
No, but when 3 comes out, we'll just deal
Yeah,
with it.
here's
in
a
time.
less crazy idea. Let's just play the damn demo and talk about that.
Fine.
There you go. So
After all of this, he's not even interested in
Yeah,
playing.
Well, I mean, I have this mental thing with 1 and 2. I don't want to have to just jump to the 3rd in the series, you know.
Well,
it's
but I guess
not
it's
1
not-
and 2. It's not. That's your thing. It's not 1 and 2. There's no 1 and 2.
well, we in our defense, we don't know anything about this, and it was
He did
described.
tell us a
You
million
described it
times.
as the first 2, so,
Yeah.
which makes sense. So obviously, we're thinking this is a trilogy or a
yes,
sequel.
it's Famicom Detective Club, blah, 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 and Famicom Detective Club, blah, blah, blah. I don't remember the names.
And they don't have any of the same
Again, they do not relate
characters.
to one another. They are just a
It's
part
True
of the same
Detective
franchise.
for
Anthology series.
Yes.
I don't think we've ever had a show where there's been so many tangents that are Nintendo related. This is great. People, if this is their first episode, they're going to be like, this show's really talking a lot about Nintendo.
Yeah, hopefully they'll stick around.
Oh, they're not
And
sticking
2
around.
of the
but-
3 of these people really know what they're talking about.
And we'll let you guess which ones they are. Famicom Detective Club, The Missing Heir, and Famicom Detective Club, The Girl Who Stands Behind.
The girl looking for her missing heir.
The missing hair. I know that one.
Tell
Tell me if you get to the bottom of that one, detective.
those two.
The root.
Are out now. And I want to stress this again. The demo comes out August 19th. So next
The first part of the
episode's
demo.
podcast,
Part of the demo.
Nope, the first and the second part.
Oh God! The first chapter plus a prologue.
That's right. Okay, so
You know what I meant.
by next episode of the podcast, we will have the prologue, chapter 1 and chapter 2 available. So are we committing to doing those for next episode of the podcast?
Monday, right? Prologue and chapter 1 is Monday. I need it like it. Yes.
Yes.
So
Then on August 22nd.
So
Check
what?
the
Like
dates again.
this Tuesday, we come over earlier or something?
No. We're doing this out on our own at home.
No, but a book club you read and then you get
Oh,
together. and you
okay.
Yeah,
forgive
on
me.
the podcast.
That
what are you crazy?
makes way more sense. Okay, perfect.
All right, let me say this piece
here's-
by piece.
No, wait, hold.
No. I'm not letting you do it. Piece by
Can
piece.
we talk about it on the podcast as a book club, like openly? Because then it's spoiler alerts.
What the fart do you think we're talking about?
Like friends have a book club. I'm not necessarily talking about the pod. Oh,
I was
whatever.
confused.
You want to
at
do
first.
this as a friends book club as well?
Move on.
All right. Well,
What's coming out?
Look,
Raw
we
meat.
can't. You know, you can't talk to him about video games unless
Can't
it's on
talk
the
to
podcast.
him about doing friend things.
When are we getting together to?
That's the point. That's a reason to get together.
No, I
when have we
misunderstood.
ever done that? When have we ever done that? Hey guys, let's get together and talk about video games. We get together and talk
When
about
has
video
Nint-
games.
When has any game company ever released demos in pieces? They're doing it now. When have we ever had a book club?
I
We're
mean,
doing it now.
Life
We can
is Strange-
start new
Life
things.
is Strange-
We're 42 gosh darn
Life
years
is Strange
old.
came out in chapters.
Well, and if you mention doing a book club about it, let's sure.
So that's what I'm asking now.
We'll do
Are you
whatever
dead
want.
serious that you want to get together just to talk about this game, not on the podcast? We will also talk about it on the podcast. Too,
I
but-
mean, I thought we could record it, but not necessarily on the podcast. A
See, this is-
Patreon or something separate.
That's
from the
what I
podcast.
thought was.
That's what I
where we
thought.
were going with that. I'm totally
Golly.
happy simplifying it and making us. And now I understood what you were talking about with the book club thing. I wasn't
Yeah.
thinking book club. I was thinking you wanted on the Patreon to do like videos of us playing
No,
games. So
no,
that's
no.
what I thought.
No, I figured like next week's podcast, we would have a section called Famicom Detective Club Book Club, and let's talk about Prologue and Chapter 1.
Okay, that makes sense.
But if you'd like to movie nights are Tuesdays. We can also talk about it then because we'll have
Well, so
played
that's what I
the
was
Prologue and
thinking.
Chapter 1.
It might. I might have to get some help, but with like my dog, like so I can have the time. But Chapter 1 and the prologue and Chapter 1 comes out on Monday.
Mhm.
We get together Tuesday before
Mhm.
movie night and record something, and then do it episode, and then
That's what you
before
were thinking. but
before
we
the
are not doing
podcast on
that.
Saturday. No, and you know what? I don't need to see you guys more
No,
than
no, no.
twice a
That's
week
what I'm saying.
anyway.
No, we can get together
We'll
and
do
talk
whatever.
about it, but we're not
talk about it
recording.
on the podcast as
Yeah.
long as you're all right talking about it, because we're going to talk about it. We're not going to hold back with spoilers.
We have
folks.
episode timestamps, and I will give a warning. Yes, that we are
I-
going to talk about now at chapters.
Do is like, you know
for-
what? I don't even want to be friends with. this
No,
guy
I
anymore.
like this
Chapters
idea.
4 and onward, we will not discuss
I've
in
been-
detail.
Ever since you became an avid reader, I wanted to have a book club anyway.
I was
So
reading
now we
I was
can-
reading my book this week.
What book are you on now?
It's the one by T.J. Klune about the tea shop and the ghosts.
We're not Mom Brain, so you're going to have to give us an
Whispering
actual
Door.
name.
Under the Whispering Door.
Okay.
Oh,
Under the Whispering Door. Yeah.
You
Yes,
found a writer you want to stick with.
Well, I was heavily recommended Cerulean Sea, whatever that's
Right.
called. And then other people are like, no, that book's really good, but his other book, Whispering Door, is really good. So I was like, I promise I will read them both. So that's what I'm going to. And now after this, I want to make sure I don't do another TJ Klune, because between these two books, he has a very laser focused style. And it's a great style, but I don't want to go into another TJ Klune book after
You should
this. I
do
wanna
like
go
a
to
book of
something
short
else.
stories or something.
Hold on a second. I'll tell you what's on my
Oh, yeah,
list.
got a
This it's time we go off
Nintendo.
on a tangent that's not video game related.
Is this Aftershow yet?
See, I think we're having a great show.
No, I just looked at the time and I got surprised. You know what I'm saying?
We're an hour 57 in. We don't have music. On my reading list is A Little Life, Desert Creatures, Demon Copperhead, Elsewhere, Body.
Oh, Elsewhere. Okay,
Not saying Elsewhere. A Memory Called Empire, The Lives of Puppets,
puppies.
Neuromancer, Lost Stars, and Thrawn Zane. I also have a couple more on Goodreads that I just added yesterday, but not to my top.
Don't know a lot of those. Elsewhere, that's the Neil Gaiman, right?
I believe so. Yes, I meant to write
So
down. in
I've
parentheses
had
and I
that
didn't.
for such a long time, and I just stopped reading.
I
Oh,
read at
you
least a
gotta
chapter every week.
you're not allowed to read that anymore because of Neil Gaiman, right?
Oh, that's right.
What about Neil
Off the
Gaiman?
list. Aftershow stuff. It's not good, and you won't want to support him anymore. I'm glad you said that. I will take that off the list. You're exactly right. I forgot about that. That's disappointing. All right, let's go back to Nintendo. That's what we get for going on a tangent that's not video game related. All right, North America. Sorry to hit you out of nowhere. Oh, he's ready. North America.
He's been ready for like 45 minutes.
North America. What do we got here? Airy, Ancient Empires. Amazing Drawing, Coloring Book Simulator. Arcade Tanks World, Tank Battle Simulator. I'm going to look into that. Maybe it's like tanks.
We can only hope.
Arco. Beat Buddy. By the way, look into Arco. Looks amazing. Got reviewed by Edge Magazine, which I will say is the toughest reviewers around. They give it a 9 out of 10.
The way you said that went with the music. Toughest reviewers around. That was amazing.
Beat Buddy, Tale of the Guardians. Bizarre. Castaway. We are Castaway. Cooking.
That's the second time I've heard someone sing this Castaway song. Is it for children or something? What is that?
Yeah, like hugely popular. It's been around a while.
Is it the Backyardigans?
We are Castaway. That's correct.
How do you know about it?
TikTok.
I got my fingers in every pot. No, I just knew about it. It's got like 1 billion views or something.
What?
Castaway. What the hell are you talking about? The song you knew what it came from.
Yeah. No, the song. Whatever. Good.
What just happened? Cup Killer sandbox game. Cyber Mission. Doc Chess King. Daddish Collection. El Rentaros Wanderings. Energy Lab. Exit Station 7. Gyota. Hidden Through Time 2 Discovery. Ice World The Frozen Age. Just Crow Things. Lunar Nightmare. Magical Delicacy. Mangavania 2. Mika and the Witch's Mountain. Minami Lane. Murder is Game Over. Mute Crimson DX. My Lovely Empress. Overboss, which is a digital adaptation of the tabletop game. Parking Jam. Parking Masters. Phantom Spark. Rack and Slay, which doesn't come out until Monday.
Rack 'em.
Rewind or Die. Space Rift. Squiggle Drop. Stumble Guys, the hundreds and hundreds of millions downloaded mobile game. Stumble Guys.
Oh, you're serious?
Dead serious. It's very
I thought you were
popular.
making a Fall Guys joke.
It's like Fall Guys, basically, but it's Stumble Guys.
I gathered.
Supermarket Manager 2024. Synaxaron Christian Stories. Holy Martyr Nephitos. Tactical Strike Special Forces Shooter. The Godfeather, a Mafia Pigeon saga.
Oh, I think Looney Tunes Tiny Toons has a lawsuit on their hands.
Animaniacs.
They were good feathers.
Thank you.
They were good feathers. This is
Knockoff.
the Godfeather. Totally different. Thief
You're telling
Puzzle.
me there
Don't
wasn't
start
a
it again.
God Feather in the...
There was a good feather. They were the good feathers.
Yeah, but like there must have been a God Feather in one of the
There was
episodes
the God
with them.
Pigeon.
God
Yes,
Pigeon,
yes.
thank you.
Thief Puzzle, Tiles Match, Turn to Mine, Ultimate Fishing Supermarket Simulator 3D, and finally World Wars 2. Because I'm an idiot and I marked the top story incorrectly. But Josh, I believe you could do it
What
up.
are the next European masterpieces?
Let's
Let's
find
find
out.
out with Nicky's sweet releases.
And I'm continuing the tradition of peeing during this segment. I don't know why it's working out like that. I apologize, Nicky Hill, but I am listening from the bathroom.
It's okay. I get it. You don't want to be here. You don't want to be here. Thank you, Josh, for playing the music. These are the
I'm
European.
feeling so great.
I'm
Thanks for
really glad that you're feeling great. It's a good weekend. It's wet. Keep your circuits dry. European Switch eShop releases for the week of August 15th, the year of our Lord 2024. Airy Ancient Empires. Amazing Drawing Coloring Book Simulator. Animal Zoo, The Forgotten Land. What other zoo is there?
I don't think we want to know. Insect Zoo?
The
Alien Zoo?
corporate office zoo. Am I right?
Hmm.
Animal
Zombie
Zoo.
Zoo.
Said that already. Arcade Tanks Arco. I think somebody said it's a beautiful game or something. Look into it. Beat Buddy. Tales of the Guardians. Bid Battle. Auction or Simulator Storage Hunter. What? What? Auction War Simulator Robots. Bullet Time. Cat's Request. Probably more Nip. Or Cybermania Parkour Uprising. Epic name there too. Escape from the Pharaoh's Tomb. Gayota. Ice World, The Frozen Age. Just Crow Things. Magical Delicacy. Minami Lane. Moonshot. Overboss. Parking Masters. Phantom Spark. Puzzle Master. The Ultimate Challenge of Wits. Puzzle Master. The Ultimate Challenge of Wits. Sam and Max. The Devil's Playhouse. Sounds mischievous. Space Raft. Squiggle Drop. Supermarket Manager for the year of our Lord 2024. I'm assuming that's a simulator. I don't know. It doesn't say simulator in there. The Book Tales, a hop adventure. Nope. The Book's Tale. I switched the S. So The Book's Tale, a hop adventure. The Godfeathers, a Mafia Pigeon saga. Oh, man. Didn't get it. The Little Mermaid Wonder Puzzles. Tiles Match. Tiny Pixels Volume 1. Ninpo Blast. Ultimate Fishing Supermarket Simulator 3D. And last but not least, I don't think, World War II Airplanes Battle. Thank you, dude. Steister has a comment. Es hora de los dulces lanzamientos de Nicky Hill. So I think that's probably this. Now it's time for the sweet releases. I don't know. I don't speak Spanish. Moving on. There's nothing to move on to. We've been abandoned by our leader.
Yeah, man.
That's
He's
that's
a water
very
drinker.
happy for you. It's a good thing you're wearing swim trunks.
Oh man. Oh, my teeth were floating. Nicky Hill, what have you been playing?
Oh, that's where we go to next.
Oh, I meant
Little
to look
bit-
up that
A
tank.
little bit of Tetris Effect. A little bit of Solitaire. I haven't really played a lot.
What in Tetris Effect are you playing? What mode?
I guess effects mode, because on the weekends there's like a 24-hour
Yes.
ritual challenge or whatever. I like to be a part of that. I don't put a whole lot of time, but then also the other day, perhaps yesterday, I think it was, wasn't the weekend challenge thing, and I just sat there. So there's I can't remember what they're called. There's like 3 different modes where you play 4 different levels. Like you have to clear 4 different sections or whatever. One is sea, one is world, and one is air.
Sea
or
World.
something. Sea Air World. Sea World Air. Air. I like to go through those. Play like one at least. It's my way of like playing the game, but also limiting the amount of time, because I'll just sit there all day and play Tetris. So
There's nothing wrong with that. You're an adult. You're a productive member of society. You do whatever
I'm
you
not.
want.
No,
with it.
I'm
Oh
not
my God,
productive.
shut up.
That's the thing.
You do what you want with your free time.
Did you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris?
I have other things to do with my time, and so
You know, I don't want to get into this, but
It's a
clearly
fair
you're doing
thing to
what needs to
say.
be done.
if I'm sitting there playing the game, I'm not productive in any way. I'm just playing the game. So I have to
enjoyed,
limit myself.
Wasted is not wasted time.
they're not releasing only certain modes on certain days like Nintendo is. They give it it's all there, and I get lost.
I know you don't want to hear it, but you're a productive member of society. You do what you're supposed to do. You get done what needs to get done, and you live. So when you
I've
have
got
free
piles
time,
of laundry.
enjoy it. So does
Let's say-
everybody. So
I've
does
got a lot of
everybody.
other
Hell
things
yeah.
that say otherwise.
Thank you,
and it's
Josh.
okay. I'm not saying it's a problem.
It is okay to do what you want with your free time.
I'm not saying it's a problem, but I will spend all day playing Tetris
Who
if I don't
cares?
put.
Who cares?
I'm not crapping on myself. I'm not cutting myself down. I'm
Okay.
being honest. I will spend 24 hours a day playing Tetris if I don't limit myself in some way. I need to just put a limit on it. It's okay to have to put limits on things and to control yourself.
It is.
So what?
My what is, I feel like you worry about that a lot.
Because it's just the fact that if I don't do it, I won't. I'm not worrying about it. I'm just saying I like to limit myself by only playing certain modes. Guess what happened? Even though I played those modes, I went to a different mode and I played for like 3 hours. And then I was like, oh my gosh, my dog hasn't eaten today because I didn't take care of her.
You hear about that cat that was nibbling on that corpse?
And my dog did eat.
Did you hear about that?
It's just I didn't.
So what you're saying is
she
you did what needed to be done.
There was an extra half hour or so or an hour before she went on her next walk.
Well, they say
because-
dogs have no concept of time. I don't
Well,
agree with
she
that.
She does because she's staring me down.
I don't know why they say that. They say cats and dogs don't have a concept of time, but then why are they always like it's time to eat? Like at the same
Yeah.
time, maybe they're just getting hungry. I don't know.
No, they have they're creatures of habit too. They know.
Aren't we all? Aren't we all?
I think the dog wanted to turn on Tetris, and you were hogging the
No, she
system.
just wants,
That's
she
true.
wants me to stop.
Doesn't she have that game controller?
Did I show you the Game Boy toy that I just bought her?
No, I remember a game controller.
Oh no, she does have the game controller with it's like a bungee thing.
Mhm.
But I wait. Don't tell her. I'm waiting for her birthday.
I won't.
I bought a Game Boy. It's like a Game Boy that has like a little game cartridge in it too. It's cute.
Can you
Anyway.
take it out?
Yeah. It comes out.
Josh, no.
So I can put treats in there and then put the game thing in there.
Oh.
So that's all I've played. Oh, you know what else I played? I won't even keep it a secret. I'll tell you. 1000 times Resist.
Why were you going to keep it a secret?
Because I played the prologue and I put the game away. Put it down.
Okay.
because-
How'd you put it away? It's digital.
Well, I
He's
put
got
the
it.
controller down.
Oh, okay.
And then I
I mean, I played the prologue and also put it away. Yes.
I can't tell you anything of what the prologue says because it's not a story like that for you to just be like, okay. I read the first line of text that came on the Switch on the screen. It was far away. I got up to take a picture of it. I know you're thinking it.
That's funny.
And I was like, this game is going to be something else for me to comprehend because my comprehension is down the tube. So we'll see how it goes if I reboot the game. What have you been playing, Do? I'm not even, no conversation. What have you been playing, Do?
Arcade Tanks World Tank Battle Simulator does not look completely unlike Tanks, but I'd say it's more like Jackal, which I also
cool.
really like. It's
Yeah.
$4 until September 2nd. It looks like it'd be a fun time waster. Just thought
Could
I'd let
be.
you know, since I know you like tanks like I do, but you
Yeah.
also know and enjoy Jackal.
Yeah, Jackal was fun. That's classic. It's about as classic as it gets.
Yep.
Well, thank you. I hope you keep at it because it's definitely worth it. And I understand more than most people being in the wrong place and time or headspace or whatever to start something. And,
I just feel like I'm always in that space.
well, sometimes you're not. There's things you liked and have finished and
Dexter.
have liked and enjoyed and stuff that you can do. So I think you'll ultimately enjoy it when the time is right.
Hi, Video Game Guru.
So don't get discouraged. It's only a game after all. Speaking of only games,
I don't know. I've heard from a lot of different people. It's more than just a game. It's like the
I would
ultimate.
cut and run because you're just going to keep getting pushed back.
No, I'm not pushing back. I'm just saying that some people said it's like the ultimate entertainment piece.
No, it was
Art
really
piece.
look. It was excellent. It was very moving. But it is only a game. So speaking of only games, I played.
Whoa, there's a concept.
There's again like this. So I played Animal Crossing New Horizons as I have been. Of course, I forgot last Sunday to log in the evening to watch the fireworks, but I always have this month to check out the fireworks. And yeah, nothing new in that on that front. I'll save the Fortnite for the end so that you and I can tag team it and go into
Yeah, right.
yours, I guess, because I only played one other thing. so I bit the bullet and I got Games Pass again. Game Pass.
Hey, he
Yes.
did it. The boy did it.
I bit the bullet and got Game Pass again to play Still Wakes the Deep. That game we were talking about last week that I tried to remember the name of. It's by that company, the Chinese Room, that made games such as Dear Esther and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Everybody's Gone to the Rapture is the one that I had played previously that kind of got me turned on to this company. So I played Still Wakes the Deep twice. I really liked it. I liked it a lot. Now, no, it's not very long. It's about 3-4 hours. And so for me, I really, really, really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I can see why people might not be excited about it. Basically, it's like a walking simulator, but there's no and it's horror, but there's really no exploration. It's kind of like, it's very linear. There's only one path you can really go, and it's almost like a roller coaster, because it's kind of like you can't get off the ride. Like there's one path to go. You don't have to think too hard about puzzles. There's not really any puzzles. There's not really any, like I said, there's no exploration.
Described as a puzzle.
It's not, it shouldn't be, because there's none. Like there's, turn this valve to turn off the steam, or find a key once to unlock this box. That's basically it. Everything else is just, you see like a yellow, I mean, you could turn this feature off, but like you see the yellow bit, so that's where you're supposed to go. Like, oh, that shelf is yellow, crawl in it or whatever. So
are you a person?
Yeah, you play. Sorry, I'm not describing this well at all. You play as a human. The setting is actually the standout of the game. You play as a human working on an oil rig in the 1970s, in the middle of the North Sea, and it's like a whole bunch of Scottish people, because it's a Scottish oil rig, and you're basically, something happened on the mainland that you are trying to get away from. So you take this job on this oil rig to kind of get away from your problems on land. And then more about your backstory is revealed ever so slightly as you go through the game. But then a disaster happens in like the first 5 seconds on the rig.
Not qualified to be there.
And then, you have to basically survive. So it's very scary. I don't want to here's the thing. A lot of people aren't going to be scared by it. I am doing a horrible job at describing this.
You're afraid of the dark.
Here's the thing.
Water.
Here's the thing. They do nothing new in this game. And I can see why people might not like that. It's a game you've played before. There's no attacking. It's all running and hiding. And it's you've basically played the game before. Like, you've seen this game a million times. They don't do anything new. Like, there's turn this knob, climb this ladder, crawl to hide, and that's get in the locker. So you've seen all these things before. You've seen the enemies are really interesting, but they've got their influences as well. So there's almost nothing that's like new about it. But for me, I thought they put so much work into just the excitement of getting from one place to another. I mean, again, you're not really playing the game, you're experiencing it, like you're going through it, but it doesn't, there's not much to do, So while it's exciting, and while it got my blood pumping, and while I was really into the action that was happening, and really into the setting, which was like the ugliest beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's like rusty and gross and terrible, but it's so beautifully done and so detailed, and it feels so real and lived in. It's some of the best voice acting I think I've heard. It's up there with the last two games we were talking about, 1000 Resist and Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and games like that. Like, the voice acting is stellar. Now, they don't what they've done with such limited story, because there's not much backstory, and you get very, very little as you go through the game, and you don't even get like story between your comrades on the rig. But the way they deliver these lines and the way they like razz each other, it's just like a very normal feeling way that everybody is with each other, that it just, you get kind of like a camaraderie from them, and you, with almost no storyline or backstory, you feel for these characters really heavy. It's kind of unlike I don't know, like a movie where two characters are supposed to show you their camaraderie, and they're like, hey, remember that time and whatever, and it's like, well, we didn't, as the audience, live through that time with you, so this kind of means nothing to us. It doesn't have, it's got more of like the way they just are with each other, and then that's what kind of brings the relationships closer, and it does it so wonderfully. Like, you almost don't even remember you're playing a game. It's like very cinematic, but you're in control. It's first person. So I don't know if I explained that well, but like, yeah, it doesn't have anything new, but like for the genre it's going for, because it's a very specific genre that you've played, I think it's almost like perfectly done. So it's one of those things that most people are only going to get like one playthrough out of and enjoy it, hopefully. But it's a short experience, and I can see, I know people might be a little like apprehensive to like spend the money on just like a short experience that you're going to kind of get once. But man, my heart was pumping. I was going, like I said, I had to play it twice. I wanted to get a little bit more out of, let me start over. After I beat it the first time, I was kind of like, I wish there was more with the characters, like more backstory to flesh out their relationships even more. So I played through again thinking, let me really take my time. Let me try to explore exploration, which is kind of a downside to it. It doesn't need the exploration, and you get a lot out of just going through it the way they want you to, but you almost feel like you're very curious, and it's an interesting thing that's happening, so you want to like explore more. So it was a bummer for me that there wasn't more exploration, but the second time through, it was all coming together as far as like the characters and what they were trying to do. And
so there's a little bit more depth to it that you don't get the first time. That like,
no, I don't think so. I think
he went
I just
through it once and got the story, and then he went through a second time and could appreciate it on a different
Yeah,
level, because he knew what was coming, so he could focus
exactly.
more
I aim in the dark at night alone, and like, big deal. Some people do not get scared at games or at anything, and that's fine. And some people will not be scared at all at this. I was very tense this entire time playing. So the whole time I was playing, I wasn't, I think I missed like talking to a couple of people, here and there. So like the second time through, I took a little more time, and it really kind of came out as I realized what they did here, and everything was intentional. I think they nailed almost every single beat of it from my perspective for that style of game. I still prefer the type of walking simulator that I've seen from them before with Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, and I want to play Dear Esther now, which I hear is a little bit more in the previous vein. But this is like an Alien Isolation, or that one Silent Hill game that we played recently, that demo. I forget what it was called. So it's kind of like that.
not PT.
Not PT.
no, like it just came out. It's free.
It's free.
The short message.
But there was something with the short message that was, because Silent Hill is a different level of creepy, like scary, gross, horrifying. I get scared easier than most people. So Silent Hill, the short message, really scared me. Whereas this game, I don't want to give away the monsters in it, but let's just say you've seen where they are, like where they're inspired from. So the way in this game, when I would be scared running away from them, but when I would escape, I would kind of like laugh at myself because it was the type of scary that's like, oh God, oh man, that was ridiculous that I did that. Whereas in the Silent Hill game, I was like, oh God, I think I pooped. Like, like I was really scared in that one. And I get a little less enjoyment out of those scares. I like the ones that I'm talking about with Still Wakes the Deep, where you catch yourself because it was almost too, and it's almost ridiculous. Again, I want to talk about the monsters, but I don't want to spoil because it's not funny, but it made me laugh a couple of times out of like uncomfortableness, like trying to almost console myself through my fear. But yeah, I don't know. Really, really well done. I loved playing it, as you can tell, because I played it through twice. It's definitely not for everybody, and I've read a lot of the criticisms that people have said about it, and I can see where those criticisms are rooted, and it makes a lot of sense. For me, I thought I think I saw exactly what the developers were going for after this, especially after the second time through, and I think for the genre game they were going for, I think it's like at the very top of those styles of games. It just might not feel like it because you've played them for years and years. You've played and you're not seeing anything new. That's the one thing. But it's kind of like they just perfectly nailed the music and the voice acting, especially with this company. It seems I don't know what they're doing over there, who they're talking to. These actors they just get it, and it feels so real. So yeah, I don't know if I'm leaving anything out. I hope I was able to kind of convey the way I felt about it easily, or not easily, but like understandably for everyone, because I if you're into that kind of a game, like a first person horror, non-combative experience, be ready for more of a roller coaster ride than a game itself where you're playing and making decisions and solving puzzles. It's not like that. But I appreciated that, actually. I wanted it took a little bit off my shoulders of worrying about how I was going to get through it, and more of just like, let me experience this scares as they come, and the awesome environments, because the environment itself, this oil rig, is crazy interesting. I was very, very enthralled with all of that. So do you guys have any questions for me about this game before I move on?
No, I want to play it. I don't want to ask things about it.
Yeah, I'd love for you guys to play it.
It's on this thing. It's labeled as a narrative horror game. So like that. And
that's on Games Pass or Game Pass?
It's on Game Pass.
Oh, that's right.
It's on Game Pass.
Tried to get him there? Was that?
Wait, was the thing we were talking about?
So I'm kicking myself kind of, because I was gonna get it. I was gonna spend the $35 and get it on the PlayStation, and then I saw that Game Pass is $20, and I could get it, and then I could probably for the month get some other games and play them. And I was thinking, there's no way I'll play this game more than once, and like I immediately, yeah. Well, I don't know.
I have it now, right? Is that how Game Pass works?
No.
Oh, that goes away when.
Yes.
Yeah, it kind of they come and go. So
like Netflix.
Yeah, so it might not be here in the future, but it's here now, and I can play it as much as I want now. But yeah, after playing it through, I really thought about it. I was like, man, I really want to play it again and see what I missed, because I was too scared, And again, it's not the scariest thing in the world, and like a lot of people are desensitized to scares, but I live alone, and it's all and it was scary. So I had a lot of fun. Great voice acting. I think it was definitely worth playing, especially if you're the type of person that likes a game in that genre. So great job. And now I got to get this Dear Esther. Have you ever played that one, RMC?
I know of it. I need to look at it.
I mean, that's like years and years ago. So yes, I don't know if
I played this on my computer. Yeah.
Do you remember enjoying it at all?
Yeah. I remember it being very short. but I remember really enjoying it. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I guess at the time that
'Cause
was
that's what
probably
got
not
me to
a
play Everybody's Gone to the Rapture.
okay.
Yes, I 100% played this on the PC.
And did you like the Rapture?
I liked it. I wasn't like crazy about it, but I liked it. From what I remember, I liked Dear Esther better. So
Yeah, I'm into it. This one was different than that walking simulator thing that those other two games seem to be. But I appreciated what they did, and like I said, I think they set out to do what I think they nailed what they wanted to do with it, and it was very satisfying for me. So had a lot of fun. Thanks for listening to me talk about those games.
Oh, wait. Sorry, you finished it twice. I don't think we applauded.
Oh,
finishing it
cheers!
once, did
Thanks
we?
so much. Thank you.
or we didn't.
Well, sweet of you guys. Thank you so much. Very, very nice. Very nice. So a little, yeah. And then downloaded the newest season of Fortnite, and played so much Fortnite yesterday. Played way too much Fortnite. So at like 10 a.m., I was like, let me check out new Fortnite. So I played for a couple hours and like did all the opening quests and stuff. And I was literally just about to turn the game off. I just like finished my last game, and one of our buddies popped on. This was at like noon. So then he jumped in, and then I felt bad about like immediately jumping out. So we played a couple of games, and then a couple of games turned into like 2 more hours of gaming. And then we played more earlier than we usually play in the evening, and then we played in the evening as well. So I played way too much Fortnite, but it was a lot of fun. I'm enjoying the new season so far. It hasn't really there's some things that I miss of the previous season, like Nitro and the fists and moving fast and that kind of traversal stuff. But as with every season, I'm surprised at how much I like this new one, and I'm starting to learn kind of some of the traversal tricks that there are. And of course, everyone's on the same even playing field when you start a new season, so like I don't know, I don't think it should feel as daunting as it does for myself when I start a new season, because it's like, people, I miss the Nitro, I miss shooting around on those fists, but nobody else can do that either. So we're all on an even playing field. So that's the one thing that I do like about starting a new season. But RMC, let's talk about like some of the Marvel additions, right?
So this is their second official Marvel season. Any Deux views clips of yesterday's Fortnite? Are there? I watched some of yours, but they were me as Gojo, so that would mean no.
Yeah, they were old ones. Yeah, I don't think I had anything new.
I'm sure there will be soon, but yeah, we've only got one day of the new season. So yes, it's their second Marvel season. As I said on the podcast a few weeks ago, I heard rumors of Gwenpool being a character in this season, and I had fingers and toes crossed that was the case, and it indeed is. And she's part of the Battle Pass, and you unlock her right at the beginning of the Battle Pass. So I could not be more happy that I get to be Gwenpool, and she's got some unique shading options and mask on, mask off, and you can unlock other outfits for her. So it's cool. They got a lot for her there. But
and it's a popular skin. I've been
very
killed by
popular.
Gwenpool a million times.
I don't know if it's popular because she's a cute girl or it's because people know Gwenpool. I'm just gonna imagine because it's a cute girl.
Well,
I can't imagine that many people know Gwenpool.
I've got a theory that's probably not true, that as people level up, there are a ton of people that just choose the new skin so like
that's
because you'll see too. I'll usually see like those skins kind of filter throughout the season.
So
then,
today we should start seeing some alternate outfit Gwenpool then, because that's the next page of the Battle Pass, and then after that I forget who's next.
Because I was thinking like after a few weeks we'll see less Gwenpools, and then you'll start to kind of come to the forefront as because it's tough to see that skin and think of you now, because I'm seeing it with everybody else.
There's swarming roves of Gwenpools all over the map. Like I said, lobbies full of Gwenpools and everything. So, but yeah, it'll branch out. So obviously all the new weapons and traversal are related to Marvel. So a lot of it is War Machine. So there's War Machine's Hover Jets, which is a jetpack that you wear that does exactly what you think it does. There's War Machine's Auto Turret, which is just something you wear on your back and it automatically shoots people. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it is annoying to be hit with because was I playing with you last night? I think I was playing with family where it was me and another team at the end. It was my family and another team, and the other team all had the auto turret on their shoulder, and it was just obliteration. Like so much that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't even get away, and I was like, "Oh, that's a thing the
seems like
team
a
should
really-
probably do."
Unfair advantage.
Why? Everybody can do it.
I guess so.
Yeah, everybody can do it, and it's very, very light damage.
You don't
It's-
have to be. It's just a weapon. You don't have to be a War Machine.
No,
Skin
you
or
have to
anything.
Yeah,
find it, but they're all over the
you
place.
just pick it up
You can
and
buy it from people too.
and what's great is you can be shooting your primary weapon
that's-
and it's
yeah.
doing its thing. And
And it pings enemies too.
yeah, it pings enemies so you know where they are, like where you know.
Because at
where
first,
they
when I
are
first
and-
saw it, I was like, I don't want to give up a weapon slot for that. It's a really cool idea, but I'd rather have a weapon or whatever. And then I've come up against enough teams where I'm like, I'm gonna pick this up from now on if I see one. So.
when I first picked one up, I didn't realize that you could like use your gun. I didn't realize it was automated because there's an automated and then you can turn it off. So
Yeah.
I was like, is that manual? But so then I didn't know that I could be shooting while it's meant to be shot while it's shooting. And like I saw, luckily it was a bot, but I just like had it equipped and I was jumping back and forth while it slowly shot
Yeah.
over my shoulder and killed him.
It's
And I was
5
like,
points of damage.
so
or
then
something.
I was like, this is ridiculous. No one's gonna do this. And then, like you said, got killed
It's
by a
almost
bunch
exactly how it happens. I'll see some weapon or some item where I'm like, nobody's going to use this thing, and then you see everybody using it. And you're like, oh, I never even thought of doing it like that. So the only thing I felt that way about, and I was right, was the toe cannon from last season. It's a cool idea, but I'm like, nobody's going to use that thing, and we hardly ever saw
of
it.
them.
But
Barely.
so there's War Machines, whatever, artillery, which is rockets that are infinite, and then like a machine gun that uses ammo. And neither of them are like extremely powerful, but they're so fast that you can do
Yeah.
a lot of damage with it. So just like if you get all the War Machine stuff, you could like hover through the air and stop in the middle of the air above somebody and launch rockets down on them and
It's
shoot them
great.
with your thing and have your auto turret going. So that's a pretty great loadout.
Yeah, it's deadly.
And we've never had I can't remember a time in Fortnite where it was like, I want every one of this guy's weapons, and that's good for my whole loadout.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I might start trying that.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. I'm not great yet, but it's a fun loadout.
The problem is more this season than any other in recent memory. So many things are fun. Like most seasons, there's weapons where I'm like, I'm never going to use that. I don't want to do
Yeah.
that. Especially the Marvel stuff is really fun, but just the guns in general are fun. But like when I see Captain America's shield, I'm like, oh, it's a lot of fun.
I love
What
the
am I going to
shield.
give up for it though? Like I love hovering and throwing the shield down on people.
It's great.
And I should have recorded a clip of it yesterday. I was playing with family. It was my mom, my cousin, and me. We were in a bunker. And I heard, no, it was two cousins, my mom and me. We were in a bunker and I heard someone coming and I'm like, someone's here. And funnily enough, a whole team of Gwenpools was at the top of the bunker and they all had War Machine stuff. So they were launching rockets down into the bunker, but the bunker has the left and right side. So we were okay. Me and my cousin had Captain America's shield. So we would inch out and look. And if you hit one person on with a Captain America shield, it bounces between everybody else.
Nice.
So we were throwing our shield. We were pinned in the bunker and we took all of them out. And I was like, this is amazing. Because when you hit that one person, you see like 40, 50, 40, 40. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And then he threw his. And then like
That's awesome.
in like 30 seconds, they were all dead. I was like, there's no way we should have survived that. But thanks to the shield, we did. So
I saw it the other way around on TikTok. Someone was down in the bunker around the right hiding, and the guy had the shield at the top, and he was throwing it down the stairs.
Oh.
And when it would come back for him, it would go through the wall and
Yeah,
hit the guy.
yeah,
and he
yeah,
would
yeah.
just grab it and do it again.
Yeah, like if somebody is in like the shield bubble, you can't throw it at the shield bubble, but
But
you
on
can
its
throw it
way
to the
back.
side and it gets on the way
Yeah.
back. So there's some really unique things to do with that. Plus, if you hold out the Captain America shield, as I said to you, a car can run directly into you and you'll stop it. You'll get a little hurt,
Yeah, it's so cool.
but it stops the car and actually launches it back a little bit. So that's awesome.
So cool.
Those new, I think they're new. The little dual pistols.
The
clips
dual
go so
Uzis
fast,
are
but
great.
they're a lot of fun.
And I love the reload
Yes!
animation for it.
It's
He
really
doesn't-
good. You
He
just throw
doesn't
them to the
reload them,
side
he just
and-
like throws them and then
Yeah,
grabs two more.
It's really good. I haven't gotten the Doctor Doom stuff yet because I know you got to go fight the Doom bot to get it. I
Yeah.
haven't done that yet. but
That's maybe my favorite part of the new map. Actually,
that
I don't.
castle's huge.
The castle's a lot of fun. I really like the castle. I like Doomstadt as well. That town is cool.
The old Classy's been given a makeover, and yeah, I like it too.
Well, the classy thing is fine. They just put up a little.
There's a tower and roughly
Yeah.
the same buildings and no more tennis courts.
Yeah,
obviously,
it is what it is. But that's my least favorite of the new areas. But
I like the raft a lot.
yeah, the raft is cool.
The raft is fun. The raft for not Marvel fans is the big prison where all the Marvel bad guys are. It's like Arkham Asylum, but for Marvel.
And I don't know why it's subtle, but I like that there's not a reboot van at the raft. It's interesting.
Oh,
I
really?
feel like there wouldn't be.
I didn't know.
Yeah,
That's great.
You have
No,
to
I
like
didn't
be
notice
out
that.
of.
When was the last time the raft was mentioned in any of like the franchises? That's
One of the
huh?
Secret Invasion. They talked about the raft
oh, they did.
Yeah.
Oh.
because they were talking about somebody who was there. I forget who it was, but
That was a stinker.
that was one of the worst. That makes me mad. The only one that's worse, Doctor Strange for me, Multiverse of Madness. But anyway, what other Marvel weapons are there? Did we cover them all? Captain America shield, all the Warhammer stuff, or War Machine. Sorry, War Machine.
We talked about the Doom gauntlets.
Doom gauntlets. And then there's Emma Frost has like a special gun and a medallion. And there's Mysterio, but he's a special gun, I believe, and a medallion. And,
Oh right, yeah.
yeah, like the upper left-hand corner of the map is all the new areas and everything. We're only one day into the season, but finding the weapons that I want to go with might be the hardest I've ever had of a time trying to pick what I want, because everything I'm like, oh, I really like that thing, and there's no direct oh, I won't take this, I'll take that instead. I'm like,
I have to agree with you. There's even the regular guns. I like most of them.
The burst rifle's back, and there's a new shotgun that's pretty cool, and the dual pistols, like we said, I really like. And and there's no one thing where you feel like this is the weapon all the pros are going to use. This is going to dominate everybody. We're one day in, but
Yeah.
so far it seems like multiple combinations of a whole bunch of stuff can be valid. So
Yeah, I think the jetpack is going to be extremely important
Yes.
for everything, especially towards the end of the game.
yeah, without a doubt.
That's going to be
Just for
my new thing. I need to have a jetpack every
a
time.
way to really get the leg up on somebody. If they're up in the air and you're down below, especially if they got a Captain America shield or War Machine's rockets, it's tough. That's tough. Drake says it's fun to actually know what we're talking about for once. My only thing is, last season, I think Dew will agree, was our favorite season.
Oh
Because
yeah,
it was
that was
so
mine.
frenetic and it was so crazy. This season does not have that crazy, obviously, because the weapons for the cars are gone, and the spiked bumpers are gone, and the nitro that you could pop is gone, and the fists are gone, and it's not that crazy. This is more of a traditional Fortnite season, albeit a really interesting one. But I am lamenting that over the top insane Fortnite experience. It's sad that that's gone, but I still greatly enjoy Fortnite. Hi, Super Sanchez. Good to see you. But as time goes on, it'll be fine. But we were in the minority. Our friends were in the minority because a lot of people really didn't like that season. So they felt it was too frenetic or too not skill based or whatever. We don't need to go over that conversation again. But yeah, first impressions of the season. It's fun. It's a lot of fun. I need more time in it to figure out what weapons I'm going to go for, because every time I'm stun locked so far, I'm like, I don't know, what do I want to, every time I think I get something I'm going to stick with, every time the pistols come up, I'm like,
Yeah, the new Monarch pistol is
oh
pretty
yeah,
good.
the Monarch pistol is really cool. Yeah, I headshotted somebody with that last night. Yeah, it's tough. I have not struggled with a weapon choice like this in any other season. There's always stuff that I want.
And the
Anyone
train is back.
Train is back. I haven't been on it yet, but the train is back. Anyone in Europe played on mobile, says Drake. Does it run well? That's right. Our friends in Europe, you can now play it again on iOS. could always play on Android, but the iOS version has returned to Europe, people, and you even get a special skin for going on and playing. So my cousins, when I first started playing Fortnite, only played on mobile, and they had no issues. They didn't have any issues. Obviously, controls are different, but it seemed to run fine from what I saw. So yeah, mobile is a valid option in Europe. It is in North America as well, but only on Android for the time being. So yeah, anything else you want to say about Fortnite? Or
No, I've been loving it.
there you go.
Yeah, please continue with what you've been playing.
What else have I been playing? I played a game on the Playdate, which is that little yellow handheld. Thank you again, Popple. I found out about a game called Summit, and it's basically a different take on Celeste, but with some interesting mechanics. Now, you really only have jump and grip for most of the time. So you jump on a wall, and then you jump on a wall with A, and then you hold B to grip the wall, and you stay there forever. There's no like double jumps or anything. And each section, there's 70 different rooms. They're not rooms. You're climbing up a mountain, but there's 70 different rooms to go through. And each one is its own little puzzle platforming challenge. There's climbing up spots. There's avoiding spikes. There's ice. There's icicles that drop. There's holes and other stuff. And then as you get later on, you get like a grappling hook for some sections. You get zip lines that you have to work with. Every 10 rooms or so, there's a little chalice you can collect as a bonus. There's a section where you're flying on a bird, and you use the directional pad to move left and right, but you use the crank to flap the bird's arms, and it was a really fun idea. And it's kind of like
Flappy Bird.
Rubbing your stomach and patting your head at the same time. It took me a couple of seconds to get used to it because I wanted to I was looking to move left and right, and I would do the crank instead and like lift myself into spikes, but you get it. It's a short game. It took me like 34 minutes to see it all the way through with all the bonus things, but excellent song. There's like, I think there's 2 songs in the game. It's a great soundtrack. The first song is so heavily inspired by the first song in Celeste. Like the song in Celeste, the opening song goes, the whole background of the song is over and over, and this song in this game has that too, but does its own completely different song. The game is wearing its Celeste inspiration on its sleeve, but I would say it's considerably different gameplay wise, which I appreciate. I liked The Keeper a lot, but I would say Summit is my favorite game on the Playdate so far. So it's a small collection of games, but I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It was a ton of fun. Like I said, only a half hour, but it's got a really it's got a really sentimental story in it that's told through text interlays in between stages. It's platforming. It's very simple mechanic wise, but it's very interesting. Really well done. Liked it. It was $6. So good. So I played that. And then the only other thing I played this week was the demo of Bakaru, because I could not wait to get it. Oh my God. I again, on Patreon, I've been talking forever about how I was so sad this game wasn't going to get localized. Well, now the demo is out in all regions, Europe, North America. So you can, Japan, you can get the demo wherever you live. You could have done that before, but now you can do it through your normal account. As I said, made by Goodfeel, and it's a spiritual successor to Mystical Ninja. That franchise is made by Konami, so it's a little different. I believe somebody involved with the Mystical Ninja franchise is involved with this game, but this is not a Konami game. So you play as this little guy, and he's a tanuki or a raccoon, but he has the ability to shape shift into a human boy, and he beats people up with
a little more.
He beats people up with this. They're not. This is American speak. They're drumsticks, but they're like the tom-tom sticks for drums. That's what you hit enemies with.
Oh.
And you use R and L to do that. So you can do like combo hits on people. You can charge up a hit. You can hold them down and spin and like do a launching hit on the ground. I mean this in the best way possible. It feels like it's ripped right out of the GameCube era of 3D platformers. I haven't played a game that feels so GameCube like this in a very long time, and it's very clear that's the style they were going for. So it's it's not really an open world 3D platformer, but it is pretty open. But it's stage based. So like stage 1 is the forest and stage 2 is a beachside thing, and that's all I've done so far in the demo. But the levels are pretty long. They each have 5 hidden scrolls or books, we'll say, and 3 hidden items that you can get, but you don't need to. Plenty of enemies to tackle, plenty of coins to collect that you buy on or that you spend on power-ups. You get special abilities, more of which I'll see as I go on, but one of the abilities is you can shrink your character down really small and you crawl around in little holes to run around, but you have no way of attacking then. So just a neat little wrinkle, and you'll get more of those as the game goes on. I was saying I thought one of the reasons why this game wouldn't get localized is because it is extremely Japanese, just like Mystical Ninja was. But they localized it, and they did a really good job, because it wasn't like, let's Americanize this. They were like, anime's popular. Let's just leave the Japanese stuff Japanese, and we'll just, make it English so people understand it. So it's just English text, but it's all Japanese culture and stuff like that. And it's really interesting. And some of the hidden things in the levels are little books that you get from this character that just tell you little things about Japan. It's like little facts about Japan. And I'm like, this is pretty interesting. I actually look forward to getting them. It's like one paragraph that tells you about whatever. And I was like, these are actually fun to get. I'm interested in learning like what things are going to come up next. It was like, did you know that in Japan, in classrooms, science labs don't have traditional benches? Their benches don't have backs. And it's to allow for people to run out of the room more quickly if there's a science explosion or something. I was like, that's really interesting. I never knew that. Hi, Turbo. Good to see you.
Hi, how are you?
So, hello, Piper.
Did you feed her?
Yeah, she's been fed. So I played the demo. I really like it. It's just so much fun. And there we go, Turbo. I was wondering what that was about. I thought that's what you were getting at. No jelly donuts. No, all traditional Japanese food as it actually is. Not localized by 4 kids. So yeah, here's the thing. If you don't know if the game's for you, play the demo. It's a sizable demo. Give it a shot. Is the
whole demo available at once?
The whole demo is available, yes. Dude, you're a fan of Mystical Ninja. I think you should give the demo a shot.
But this is, you said it's a platformer from the GameCube era, so it's the 3D. It's like Cameo or something?
I said it's like that. This is a brand new game. I want to stress that.
But it's like Cameo or Star Fox Adventures?
I would not say it's like either of those. It's like Super Mario Sunshine or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like the 3D Mystical Ninja games, but you haven't played those. It's very much like those. But yeah, it's like an old school 3D platformer. It's just
I guess
fun.
It can't hurt to try the demo.
I'm so happy it's getting localized. I really don't know. I don't know how well it's going to do. I desperately hope it does well. Good Feel has poured so much care into this. The art design is so strong. It's a beautiful game to look at. It's a really colorful game. It's just it's well animated. Bakaru, Bakeru, or Bakeru if you're North Americans, I'm sure, or Bakeru if you want to meet them halfway. Bakaru. This game oozes charm and care and attention to detail.
This guy beats you with an eclair.
That it just screams off the screen. It just feels good. It looks good. It plays good. It's so satisfying. It's one of those 3D platformers that really scratches the itch for those who are fans of 3D platformers. It's like it's like Banjo-Kazooie, but not a collectathon, and it's not as open as that. It's level based. Like I said, Banjo-Kazooie's levels are huge and sprawling. These are very much like, you walk through it in 20 minutes, and it's mostly streamlined. There's a couple places where you can wander off the beaten path and get some collectibles, but it's just a ton of fun. It's just straight up fun, and it's a quality experience. Good Feel is a developer Nintendo's worked with many times, and the quality that they imbued in Nintendo games is very much on display here. So they're really strutting their stuff as a developer. The demo's there. It's a free experience.
Yeah, what else is Goodfield done? You said like Yoshi.
They did Kirby's Epic Yarn.
Oh, so then they did Yoshi's Crafted World, I guess, or
one of the.
It's free.
Yoshi's.
Let's
Didn't
get our
Yoshi have a yarn
facts
one
straight.
too? Whoa!
Let's get our facts straight on this team before I say the incorrect things.
Good Feel Man.
Games developed. Wario Land Shake It. Loved that. The Wii game. Oh, so good.
That's where it's in my brain.
2D platformer, that one is. Kirby's Epic Yarn. They did Wii Play Motion, which I really liked. Mario and Luigi Dream Team. Yoshi's Woolly World. Kirby's Extra Epic Yarn. Yoshi's Crafted World. And they helped make Princess Peach Showtime.
So it's interesting because there's a lot of
It's a developer Nintendo Trust.
a lot of 2D games there.
Well, yes,
But-
you're right. Princess Peach Showtime is 3D, but all their other ones are mostly 2D. This is a 3D,
but there's
one
like
for
a
them.
lot of depth to the levels. and
Their
stuff.
skills in 2D platforming are very much put on display in this 3D game. It's the same sensibilities, and it's just fun. Fun is the best word I can use to describe it. It's just a really fun throwback kind of game. It's awesome. So happy it's getting localized. I don't know why they announced it out of nowhere. Like I said, we broke the news before they announced it. Then the next day they put out a press release, and I'm like, oh, it's kind of a bummer that they didn't like spotlight this better somewhere, like in a Nintendo Direct or something. Maybe it will be featured in a Nintendo Direct before it launches. I hope it does, but it is what it is.
And
I'm
when-
just happy it's getting
When
localized.
does it come out?
September
September
3rd. Not far
The
off
game,
at
So you
all.
think there's going to be
It's fun.
a Nintendo Direct before that?
There's traditionally a Direct in September. Doesn't leave a lot of room to do it, but who knows? Spike Chunsoft is the publisher, by the way. They have decided they will take on the brave task of footing the bill for that publishing, because they must have been like, so Japanese centric, but it's such a good game, and they were probably like, all right, we do enough Japanese stuff. We'll partner up with you for the localization of this. And good on them, I say. And that's what I played. And now we got questions. Did I close all my links? I did. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Goninpod@gmail.com.
Maybe I will.
They can be about Nintendo video games in general or whatever the hell you want. Okay. Question from PT. Just for Deux.
Uh-oh.
Deux, it's time for another round of Is It a Kaiju?
Okay. All right.
Number 1, the Kraken. I have a little tidbit of information if you'd like it for each thing, but
Are we talking about the like mythological?
you got it.
Is it a kaiju? I don't remember what the
This is why we ask you, because it's your determination.
okay, it is.
That's
Okay.
why we started in the first place.
Okay, great. Then it's not a kaiju because I think
Because you knew it before you knew what kaiju were, or because it's not Japanese.
yes to the first, but also because I like the Kraken from what I know.
Now we're getting
Yeah, like the Kraken's kind of cool.
So I know the answer to this one. A Pokemon that has been Gigantamaxed. Gigantamax Pokemon are made very big for battle, probably like 10 times the size of a regular Pokemon.
I mean, 10 times the size of a regular Pokemon doesn't have to be that big, to be honest, depending on the Pokemon. But
Well, I mean, if you make like a Pikachu 10 times the size of a Pikachu, that's a huge Pikachu.
Yeah. kaiju.
Okay, that's what I thought. The Del Lago Lake Monster from Resident Evil 4.
Oh yeah, he's not a kaiju.
The fan
Yeah.
wiki says it's 65 feet.
He's not. I didn't need to know that. He's not.
Giant African,
like
giant African land snail. It can grow up to 8 inches long and can be a pound in weight.
No.
Okay. The
Sounds interesting though.
The Megalodon.
Gross, but Megalodon. What is that? Like a giant? That's the dinosaur whale. Or is that
it a whale or a shark?
It's like
Okay.
the super shark.
Whew, man. I don't know how big it is, but I'm guessing yes.
65 to 85 feet.
Yeah, that's pretty big.
Okay. So it
Damn.
is one.
I'm gonna say yes. The
Okay.
dinosaurs can fall into a kaiju territory.
Cthulhu.
I don't know. He might be a kaiju. I think he is.
Checks all the
I
boxes.
think he
for
is.
kaiju.
I can't
But
argue
it's
with
like
that.
a supreme creature.
So
Right.
the religious connotations to it make it not a kaiju.
No, it's like it makes it more of
god.
a god than
But
a
Godzilla.
yeah. I don't consider Godzilla to be a god. Either,
Well,
though, but
thankfully
guess
this
it
is
right?
Deux pick.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'd still make him kaiju. I don't. Yeah, the god thing
What
doesn't.
about, can I?
This is
Oh,
really-
after
it's a
I'll
good
ask
one.
after.
Pinocchio, but specifically if he lies a lot, so his nose is like
No.
really long.
No.
Okay. Sandworms from Dune.
Huh. I mean, do they have kaiju on Dune? I guess if they do, then a sandworm would be one. I mean, those things are huge. I would say yes, but I don't want to say yes because I kind of like Dune.
I feel like those are more.
I like how kaiju is bad. They're like negative.
I feel
Kaiju's
like-
negative.
I
But we're
feel
all
like
talking about the
they're
same
more,
thing here.
They're more kaiju than a megalodon.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Probably.
You know, because a megalodon is like limited to water, but they travel.
Yeah,
know,
the
The entire
second
planet
you,
is sand, and they can traverse the entire.
the second you
planet.
start trying to make sense of what his answers are, everything falls apart.
Well, I mean, we know.
Well,
his
we know-
answers and logic.
Well, we know that Godzilla uses a megalodon as a surfboard, and that's how he stands
He's
up
using
in water.
a tail like a propeller. Giant ants from the 1954 horror movie Them. I'm sure you've seen those ants before in that
I've
movie.
seen those ants. Yeah, that's kaiju.
And they are 9 to 12 feet. And then finally, one you'll at least you're gonna have to think about it because you know it. Any of the Titans from Attack on Titan.
Oh, they're kaiju. Yeah,
All of them. Yeah.
I think
but
so.
you like Attack on Titan.
I do. Yeah.
Oh, so
I mean,
it's a
well, there's
like,
nothing-
but
There's nothing I could do about it. I mean, I don't love Cthulhu lore and stuff, but I like the character. Like, I'm interested in that character and stuff.
Because I would say
but I've
they
never-
aren't because they're very human. The design is very human. And
yeah, that's
they
actually a good
have,
point.
like, some of them can actually think and speak.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So I mean, but it's your choice. Whatever
That's
you
a
pick
good
is
point.
wrong.
Don't say kaiju don't think. Come on. They're
No,
kaiju.
but I mean, like, as we think.
Right.
Well, I never thought while I was watching it, I never thought of them as kaiju. I'm only thinking about it now because I'm being specifically asked the question.
Yes.
But when I was watching and enjoying the show, never once would I like equate it to a Godzilla or some kind of big monster movie.
But it obviously there's more to it. But it's the same thing. It's a giant
I suppose.
creature terrorizing.
I suppose it is. It's all very interesting. Thank you for
I was
making
gonna
me
say.
think
Yeah.
about
This
this.
is great. The only one I would say, I don't know that I would call any of those kaiju for the reasons that I've said, the Attack on Titan Titans. But I know for sure I would not call the smaller ones Titans. Like, the ones that are like 4 times the size of a human. I'd be like, nah,
Right.
come on. There's always the little squirrely one running around. What was the one that was, the special Titans, the one that wore the cannons on its back? Like, that's not a Titan.
Right,
Or that's
yeah.
not a kaiju for me. That's
Right, the cart titan.
Yes, thank you. The cart Titan. So there you go. That's your 10. Are they kaiju from PT Part 2? PT. I'll leave the final call to do, but I say keep those coming. That's a very interesting.
Oh yeah, no, that was
it's a
fun.
fun one.
That was
Can
fun.
I ask one though, real quick?
Sure.
So, Jersey Devil.
Mm,
Isn't he really small?
I would say
It's
no.
like human size, I guess.
Oh
but
yeah,
it's-
that's not. A
But it's
kaiju.
like a
Cryptid,
right.
right? Is that what those things are called?
yeah, that's not a kaiju at all.
But I don't know how big Cthulhu was. I thought
Huge.
I
Oh,
think
is
he
it?
was really big,
Huge.
like Godzilla
the
size.
size
I
of a
thought.
mountain, says the description.
Oh.
Yeah, massive.
Yeah, and I enjoy like the imagery that I see of Cthulhu and stuff. Creepiness, like I like that. Creeps me out, but it's interesting.
Like
but I
the-
don't know very much about it.
Like a Goron from Zelda, the one specifically in Ocarina of Time. That would be a
Oh,
kaiju. That
yeah.
guy's huge.
Yeah.
The Bigoron sword guy. We also have a Patreon question. Did you know that you could join?
Oh,
That was really good.
Did
Did you know that you could join the Patreon?
For $1.
For $1. The Pandazorian did, and they asked this question. Freaky Friday style, you wake up as the pod member to your left. I am Nicky Hill. What is the first thing you do?
Oh man, crash the website, obviously.
So, is it? Oh, this is an interesting way of thinking of it. Is it us in their body? Oh yeah, it is. It is. What's going on? It's Freaky Friday, of course. Oh man, I'd be worried I'm going to do something wrong with the dog. I'd be like, Sally, I think we got to go.
First thing you would do is complain about my internet and how you can't update the site.
No, I'd be you. I'm doing you.
Yeah.
He's doing me. You're doing him.
Well, no,
we're all doing everybody.
You're you in my body.
Yeah, so I would be doing what you do.
So you'd wake up and be like, "Oh, I can't update on this."
No, I'm doing you.
I know, I get it.
I would be taking care of the dog. I'd be like, "Oh, do I have to go
Well, the
film
first thing I would
something
do
today?"
The first thing.
No, you know what? I'd be like, "Oh
No,
my god, I
because
got to
you know
drive."
I'm out of work. First thing I would do is play Sleep Wakes the Waters. What is it?
Sleep wakes the water.
Still wakes the deep.
Still wakes the deep.
So you would crash the website, probably true.
Not on purpose.
Not
but...
on purpose. Yeah. I would be paranoid about the dog and getting to work.
Man, and I'm living great.
And you're playing the game.
Chilling. You're chilling.
Like,
if it's tomorrow, you got to cut the grass. But other than that,
first thing I do, rearrange the room, put the TV farther away from the couch.
I guess.
Makes sense.
That's it.
Makes
and
sense.
I guess I would be checking if I smell and be worried about if I smell all the time.
First thing I mean, real talk. First thing I do when I wake up, check my drawers.
There you go. That's what I'm sure I'd be doing it. Well, we know each other well. Yeah, you got the winner out of that job. Yeah, your day sucks. Well, I guess not, because you just crash the site and then you'd be like, oh, nothing else to do.
Yeah, I'd say yours is the worst, RMC, just because you hate to drive, and in that area is like a bad area to drive.
Instantly, when I wake up, that would be the first thing I think of. I'd be like, oh my god, I got to drive his car,
and you got to be worried about the dog too, which
Yeah.
is like that. So like, yeah, that's
the
things for
dog.
me.
I would be worried about because of the way he. Like, I want to make sure I do the dog justice as far as he takes care of the dog. But there'd also be a level of like, I know I can handle the dog, but the driving, I know I could handle it, but I'd be like, I'm hitting.
Well,
something.
especially if you had to go to work and like work a camera for.
Oh yeah, forget it.
For
Forget
something.
it.
Don't worry.
That guy would text and be like, no, forget it. I'm taking back everything I said.
Don't worry, I'm out of work right now. So.
There you go.
But at least for me, being you, RMC, I know how to take care of the cat. I've done it before,
Yeah,
so
you're
like
fine on that.
the cat's fine. Yeah, the website's gonna crash, but I'll just go in the basement and play a whole bunch of
There was
retro
a time
games or
you
something.
were doing stuff on the site, so
Has it
maybe
not
it's-
changed since then?
It's changed a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a whole new back end. But muscle memory, as far as getting to the stories, I'm sure
if you
could-
can
I
at
couldn't
least
even-
get into things, and so that you can contact like.
Well, I
Quince or
couldn't. I was gonna
something.
say I couldn't even contact Quince, like, because is he in the phone? Is Quince?
It's all my if you sit down at my computer, you're fine. Everything's all logged in. The
Oh,
site's
okay.
logged in. The Discord's logged in. You're all right there. So yeah, you're good.
That might even be worse, because then I can like post things, and then that might go
You got
worse.
it all. Yeah, I don't log into anything. I'm the only one that uses that computer, so it's all logged in already. So you have the keys to the kingdom. You just have
Oh,
to drive
man.
the car.
Big news in the gaming world. Romy Cowboys canceled.
Well, no,
gonna
it'd
be
be
the
like people would be
comments,
like, "Why are there no Pokemon stories today?"
Yeah, no Pokemon stories.
It's only stories this guy cares about.
And it's all like fake rumors that he's saying are true.
Well, you know what? It'd make for a great movie. I know. What? Jesus Christ! I can't. Lindsay
Jamie
Lohan and what's her face are doing the new one right now, Freakier Friday.
Activia Curtis.
But I think ours would be better. Boy, Jamie Lee Curtis, huh?
What'd she do? Oh no.
No, they said that they were doing an interview about the Borderlands movie, and they're just asking questions in general. And there was that like Comic-Con or whatever, and they're like, "What phase is the?" Oh, they were doing like a quiz, and they were like, "What phase is the Marvel Cinematic Universe in?" And she said, "Bad," and then they all laughed, and then she
Phase?
Yeah,
Oh, I
that's
get
a
it.
joke.
I get
And then she apologized, and she was like, "I don't even know what I'm talking about. I shouldn't have said anything. I apologize." So I was like, "That's fine." Knocks her down a peg in my book, but she apologized, so I moved her up a little bit. But then she said that, and then look at the Borderlands movie. It's like the bomb of all bombs. Like it had, for literally the first week, it had a 0% score on Rotten
Yeah,
Tomatoes.
it
So I was
doesn't.
like, karma,
the trailer doesn't
karma,
look
baby,
great.
karma.
I mean, the way you described it sounded like she made a joke based on like what she heard from
Yeah.
crap,
It's also
and then
rapid-fire
immediately
questions.
apologized.
Well, like a couple days later, not right
Oh,
there.
really?
Yeah, she got backlash and then apologized. I still appreciate the apology. I thought it was very well written. She didn't need to do it, and she did. So, in all honesty, all good in my book. I'll still remember that, but all good in my book. But then, now she's in a mega bomb. So
That's just like one of those rapid fire question things, probably, though, right? Like, I wouldn't do well on those.
Well, you could, take the idea of not saying negative about, I don't know, the people that work in your industry. Or you could say, I don't know what phase it is.
Yeah.
Don't crap on the people you work with in other projects. That's all. I don't think that's that crazy. And not like spur of the moment be like, oh, I hate the things they're in. That's all. Don't think it's that crazy to say. Or how about this? No comment.
Oh, okay. I'll try that next time you ask me questions.
I feel
Okay.
like they had to know that the Borderlands movie wasn't going to be great. Like they probably.
I feel like it's been talked about beforehand that it's just not good. But everybody's got to support what they're part of. I mean, look at Dakota Johnson.
I
right?
understand. I understand that, but I feel like obviously there's actors that know they're in a stinker when they're making
Yeah.
it sometimes.
Also-
So like, what if you're in a huge stinker, maybe don't make that
They went-
comment.
They went way out of their way with Borderlands movie too, because they got like a really notable cast. Like these are actors
All of
that are
them.
notable actors. So they spend a lot more money on a movie that's extra bad. So I hear.
Did you hear that? Didn't like the Uwe Boll, the guy who was that guy or no,
I
Zack
don't-
Snyder?
No,
was
you're
it?
right. You're right. Yeah, the guy who did all the old bad video game movies.
He
I
made a
heard that
comment.
people were saying that he should have directed it because it would have been better. If he actually made a comment, I don't know. I'll look it up right now.
I think it was either him or Zack Snyder made a comment, kind of tongue in cheek, about how they should have made it because it's so bad or something. Maybe I'm redditing my memories here.
Never mind. I forget what I was going to say.
Yes, Uwe Boll did comment on it. And he said, haha, my movies were rated R and made more money than this. Now you wish I directed.
Yeah,
Okay.
so yeah, I guess it's
Yeah, making a Borderlands movie not rated R is also another, it's a choice. It's a choice.
yeah. What a I don't know. Like sometimes you feel like they don't have anybody advising them on these things.
I
like somebody
felt-
that knows what the
They-
heck is.
I felt like we had
it's all
finally
run
made
by,
it out of
like,
that
all
era.
These corporate bosses, like they're making all these ridiculous decisions.
But I thought we finally got out of that era where they were like, oh my God, we can make money off of video game movies. We just have to have people who care about them involved, because we've had a string of good to very good video game movies or TV shows. And I was like, okay, now we're getting somewhere. And then this stinker comes out. It's not a huge setback, but it does suck because we've had I'm going to say 5 years of goodwill, even though we have our gripes about The Last of Us. It's not like the show's bad by any means. And a lot of
People seem to like it.
care and heart is put into it, and a lot of attention to detail, and people are trying, and like it's well shot, and yeah, like all that stuff is there. We've had the Sonic movie, which isn't great cinema, but it makes Sonic fans happy, and they did a nice job with it. The Mario movie the same way. There's a whole
There's
bunch
enough
of
care
examples.
involved. I mean,
The
The
Fallout
Last of
show
Us
is
is
pretty good.
being
Fallout Show's a great example.
co-produced by the creator of the game series
Yeah.
too. So like any missteps that you might count, or what you might consider missteps or something that we don't like, they're making those decisions because of things that they kind of wanted to do even originally, or they wanted to elaborate on. So like they're going in ways. So like I don't really love it, but I respect it because they're still telling the story they want to tell. But outside of that, like a lot of these things are made, these decisions are made by money, not by
Yeah.
people's interests or
Yeah,
anything.
that's
So
the shame.
so it's a video game. So kids are probably playing it. Well, we can't get kids watching an R movie, so we have to make it PG-13 at least, and then whatever.
And right from there, like that, even just that one decision changes every single thing
Yeah.
that comes
Yeah.
next about this
It's
film and
the
like its
story
direction.
Of, Stranger Things, how they shopped it to like 12 different networks before Netflix was like, yeah, we'll do it, because they were like, nobody's going to watch this. It's got kids in it. We need to make them adults, and we need it with it, blah, 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 all that stuff. And Netflix was finally like, yeah. And look, it paid off. So
It's a bummer because like something like that, if they took time and made it really, really good, guess what? You get to do a sequel and then 5 other sequels.
But-
As
Yeah.
much as I don't really care for that, that's how
Mhm.
you're going to make your money in the long run. You don't, crap out this thing real quick and put all the big names in it and hope people get tricked into seeing it.
It's
And
the
then-
old style approach of doing those movies. Yeah.
And then the upsetting part is that the people that are putting blood, sweat, and tears into the project and it doesn't work out, they're the ones who end up losing their jobs or ruining their careers. And then the people that are at the top making the decisions are just collecting their paycheck, their bonuses or whatever, and they're laughing all the way to the bank.
Yeah, well, at least there's a good amount of movie or TV show, or game to movie or TV show adaptations out there that give me some confidence. Like I'm interested to see what happens with the Streets of Rage movie, because they got all the John Wick people involved. From an action perspective, I think it will do a great job. Storyline wise, it's not like Streets of Rage ever had a great story, but as long as it's got a basic action movie story with some great action, that's what I want
What's
from
the
a Streets of Rage movie.
story?
So, Mr. X, he's a big bad guy in town, and he's got a lot of bad people working for him.
And the police are in his pocket,
Yep.
and 3 ex-police who are now turned vigilantes have to beat every punk up in the city with their fists
That'll do well.
and their rage.
And
Get
then when
ready
you
for
get
sequel
later
after
on, things
sequel
get a
after
little
sequel.
weirder. Like a little kid also joins in, and then in the third
And-
game, a kangaroo.
And a robotic
And
old man.
A robot old man, yeah. But anyway, I guess that's all we got for today. I guess we'll end it there.
No.
Oh, something. What's
we
up?
got music?
Yeah, no music this week.
Mom Brain, we speak your name again. Is it okay to speak names? Pat?
Dues Views. It's never
Oh.
news. Rumor of the week
Wow.
with Dew Michaels. So, ladies and gentlemen, the rumor of the week part is a section of the podcast where I get. Oh my god! Why is
Blinded
this
by
so
Daylight.
hard?
I don't know if you have to. Do you have to explain it?
Yes, he does.
Okay.
Please. It's my favorite part.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've got spiders and flies crawling all around the video game industry, and they find out the nicest bits of rumors to tell me, and they let me know. And they always let me know around this time, and then I let you all know
Mhm.
about the rumor that
Well
has
said.
happened.
Succinct.
Oh God. So yeah, I don't know. So this week we're gonna try something a little different with Dew's Views. See, I just told you that they're always rumors. This one that has come in across my desk is actually true this
Oh
time
my
around.
God.
So
What?
just this time we'll do a Dew's View that's true.
Wow. Remember this day, people.
Remember the day. Remember it. So we were talking earlier, you might have remembered about
Radical Defect says True's views.
Yeah, you might have remembered earlier we were talking about Ubisoft and all the games that they were going to be bringing to Nintendo, and how they used to work with Nintendo a lot, and how they even teamed up with Nintendo for that Rabbids game. Well, guess what they're doing again? They're teaming up with Nintendo again, but they're not doing no Rabbids this time. This time around, it's going to be Assassin's Creed Mushroom Kingdom.
Wow.
And you play as Mario sneaking into Bowser's castle.
Also Italian, right?
Yes,
Assassin is
true, that's true.
that's right. Ezio Auditore di Mario Brother. And you have to infiltrate Bowser's castle because Bowser has the apple. If anyone's played that game, they'll know what I'm talking about. And he's part of the Illuminati. It's not called the Illuminati. I forget what it's called. But is it the Illuminati? There's something in it.
Yeah,
The
talking to the wrong people.
yeah.
My Assassin's Creed knowledge is zero, pretty much. You
Well-
fall in hay bale stacks and carts.
Yeah, here it's going to be turnip stacks.
Oh, okay. All
'Cause
right.
of Super Mario Brothers 2?
No, I get it. Hey, you're just telling me the facts. I get it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds true.
So
It's going to be a multi-million seller. It's
so
what people want.
be very,
Still rated
very,
mature?
very excited for that. It's actually rated E for
Oh,
everyone.
okay. It could still be fun.
Yeah,
Still be fun.
it'll still be fun. Nintendo didn't want to go that dark.
I understand. Yeah.
So-
M for Mushroom Kingdom.
Oh, all right.
Very
all right.
nice. Very nice.
But that's going to bother me so much what that thing is called, because I know I've heard the name in Assassin's Creed, but I can't think of it. Aftershow. All
Yeah.
right, everybody. Thanks for watching and thanks
Well,
for
thank
listening.
you for that, dude.
Oh, sure.
Oh, also, hey, we have a
Thank the
birthday
spiders
coming
and
up
the
this
flies.
week.
Unfortunately.
The bearded man. Happy birthday, Raw Meat Cowboy, coming up on 42.
I think more importantly, it's Nikki Hill's mother's birthday on the same day, Monday.
Beautiful
Okay.
souls.
Or maybe more important to both of us,
Bill
Clinton's birthday as well. All of us on the 19th, we're celebrating our birthday. What am I going to do? Eat food. What am I going to do after this podcast? Eat food.
All
Food.
right.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next
Food.
week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody. Have a great week. Stay safe. Go play Emio's podcast.
Emio's Pizza.
Emio's Pizza.
Well, all that is in there, and I'm glad it is.
Holy mackerel.
What is that called?
Emio
What are you
Detective.
thinking
The
of?
thing in Assassin's
The
Creed.
apple?
No, like the whole thing. Like not the Illuminati.
Oh,
It's
the Triarch or something. It's
Oh my God, we were talking about video game movies and we didn't talk about that one. And it's got your main man.
Fassbender?
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Yes, never mind. Prince of Persia was your main man. Did you ever see that movie?
No, I never
I haven't
watched
either.
it.
Maybe
It
that's
looks
long
so
for movie night.
bad.
Is it too long for me?
Probably.
I think we looked into it for movie night and it was too long.
I've never
Wait.
seen it.
Yeah, Fassbender's not a main man.
No,
I was mistaking the
Is
two
he scandaled
Ubisoft
too?
movies.
He's not canceled, but he's scandaled.
I don't trust him.
Is he
I've heard
scandaled?
I've heard a story or two.
Happy
I
early
don't know.
birthday to your son, Blood Ocean.
I don't know. Good actor.
Fassbender, the real Raven.
That one movie he was in
Scandal.
still has me uncomfortable.
Fish
In
tank.
2010, Fassbender's girlfriend accused Fassbender of 2 incidents in 2009 where he dragged her alongside a car and broke her nose.
Yes, seems pretty horrifying, right?
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty bad.
Is that's the story behind that new soccer movie though, where that's his like second chance?
Oh,
Jesus. Sorry.
I don't think I want to see that. There's somebody else who just had some controversy pop up that made me sad, and I'm blanking on who it was. It was a celebrity, obviously, but who did we mention?
oh,
earlier
Blake
in the show?
Lively.
Oh well, that I don't. I don't.
What's her?
I don't care about her
controversy?
either way.
Oh, okay.
She apparently she's not so nice, and
I
an
saw that
old
somebody-
interview surfaced with her where the woman who did the interview was like, "This interview almost made me stop being an interviewer." And I watched. It's like a 4.5-minute interview. It is very uncomfortable. Did you watch it?
Yeah,
It's very uncomfortable. I don't know what Blake Lively is so pissed off about, but she's clearly got
She's gotta
something
take
up
the
her
back
ass.
seat.
Like she is. It's awkward on a whole bunch of levels. It's just very disrespectful. Not very demure. Not
Yeah.
very cutesy.
Happy 8th birthday to your son, Blood Ocean.
Controversy.
Here-
Who are we talking about? And he was like, "What?"
Oh, don't worry about it. I read about it.
Okay.
That was Neil Gaiman. But the other thing for me that I wanted to say was
Circle of Life, Blood Ocean. I'm sorry. To
Ryan Reynolds. I got a weird feeling from him during all this press stuff for Wolfman.
Too nice. Werewolf. Yeah.
No, like I think it's just that he's tired because he's into so many things.
No. Go on.
And it's like a fake nice. He's just like doing it for the cameras because this is what I'm here for. And I'm here to sell this movie and do this press stuff, but I just want to be left alone.
Well, I do not get that. I've only heard that he's extremely nice by every celebrity. The only one who spoke bad of him was TJ Miller. Not exactly someone who I'm going to take the word of. And he told the story of why he thinks Ryan Reynolds is a jerk. And to me, it sounded like it was Ryan Reynolds being funny like he usually is, and just TJ took it the wrong way. I don't know. I don't have a dog in that fight. But only thing I ever hear about Ryan Reynolds from everybody is how nice he is.
Nice. I know that.
I'll tell you what
stories,
it is.
But like,
I'll tell you what it is. I know what it is. It's his eyes. He did something to his eyes. He had some sort of work done on his eyes, his eyelids, his eyebrows, something where his stare is not right.
No, it was
Look
like.
at it. Look
Did
it
you
up.
watch? Did you watch the Hot Ones with him and Hugh Jackman?
Yes.
First off, Hugh Jackman. I want to love the guy, but
More like huge Jackman. Am I right?
What? He comes on, and I mean, this is not speaking negatively, but he comes off as like the awkward, like an awkward friend.
He
Like,
was pretty awkward in that. I've seen him be very charming almost anywhere else, but in that Hot Ones, he was kind of awkward.
or like you have a friend that's like really funny, and then a friend that's not as funny or whatever, but is like sincere. but also wants to say things that are funny and they don't hit the way the other friend does. And like, I was watching that and I was like, oh man, like he's a nice guy. He's probably a wonderful man and like really sweet, but he's not. He needs the script.
There's a
He's
reason
got,
why
you
he
know?
plays
And
the
he's-
straight man. And
Yeah.
And he's a great actor too, because you see
Yeah.
that and you're like,
Right.
he's not intimidating at
Yeah,
all.
But then Ryan Reynolds in that same interview episode, he just had this like delivery at times where he's just like, "Oof," you know, he's either cracking jokes, being really sarcastic, but it was almost like the kind of thing of like, I don't really want to be here sarcastic. But then there were moments of other sincerity too. So like, I don't know. I think he's probably the great guy that everybody says he is. I just think he's tired.
I would imagine
He even
you would
said
be tired.
he said he got COVID and it was the best 6 days of his life or whatever because he was forced to sit at home and not do anything.
Well, I
and
guarantee
people couldn't bother him.
I guarantee the press tour he did for this movie was beyond any other movie he's ever done, including the other Deadpools.
Yeah.
Fox is not doing the same press tour that Disney's doing for this movie. So yeah, they were everything, everywhere,
all at once.
Yeah, like they were on everything you could possibly be on, like TikTok, YouTube, regular TV shows, all of it. He did them all, and that's
They
not even
guest
talking about.
hosted.
Yeah,
What was it? Jimmy Fallon or
Jimmy Kimmel.
Jimmy Kimmel. Why do we same job, just different channels?
well, let's get rid of Fallon.
Sounds good.
You know what? Get rid of Fallon and bring Seth Meyers in. I like him. He's loud funny. No. Do I think he's enjoyable? Sure. Do I like his a closer look segments? Yes, love those. So get Fallon out of there. He gives me nothing. He does nothing for me. Every once in a great while, I check in to see what he's like. Not my cup of tea. I don't get it.
Roll him up in a carpet and throw him off a bridge.
But then again, you know, I'm a Craig Ferguson fan, so what can I say?
So they're doing like a Jimmy Fallon haunted house though, or something.
Yeah, put
I'm
me in a
just-
house with him, and I'm scared.
I'm just
shitless.
glad they're whether it's him or writers or press, whoever, they're doing things differently. They're trying different things,
What are you talking about?
like having a haunted house at Rockefeller Center or whatever. Like
Oh.
it just like they're just doing different things. It's just different experiences for people. It's not the same thing.
Great. Yeah.
Although, if you've been to Universal Studios, the ride's not my favorite.
And on that note,
We'll
everybody,
keep that in mind.
thanks for
I
listening.
don't mean to be negative. I'm just saying.
Relax, you deserve it. We'll see you next week. Goodbye.
Smash
Goodbye,
that like
everybody.
button.
Goodbye.
Subscribe. Bye.
Smash that like